Hey, Gibby, we're turning on our mics to talk about rods.
Oh, we're live? We're going...
We're live. Fuck it. You guys want to
man.
go really live? Here we are. Everybody, look at our cameras. Hi. We're live, everybody.
Wow.
Welcome to City States of Klovisa
1 minute early.
Dash the God War, featuring the political team and a horse. How's it going, everybody?
What was that? Did you just diminish me as a horse?
I think I've been doing that since time began.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You know, a horse is a horse, of course, of course.
True. Guys, what's up? What have you been up to? Alden, where were you last week?
I had watch.
What does that entail?
You know that thing that you guys pretend to do in this game?
Oh, okay.
It involves me sitting in a guard shack pretending to look at people's IDs as they walk into my building of work.
Oh, okay. Hey, Millman. We're doing a Millman appreciation stream since I'm wearing a wife beater. And it's so fucking hot. Oh, it's so hot, guys. It's 92 outside, 84 inside. My AC won't turn on.
Will I level up if I touch Temer's rod?
So how's it going, Temer? Let's go around the table. What were you up to last week or this week?
I did great. I played on Greg Hansen's thing there, his D&D stream. It was pretty fun.
I watched the VOD, unlike Alden watches our VODs.
Nope. Don't do it.
Pretty fun, you know.
It was
VODs.
pretty dope. Yeah. Alright.
So, yeah, did that. And it's pretty nice here in Canada, and Ontario in particular. I feel bad for you Texans, so, you know.
Yeah, but they laugh at us in the middle of winter, so
True.
they can
I
just
won't
dive
take your
heat.
pity. It's fine. To be fair, though, like,
We
our
deserve
winter
it.
comes in February, if at all. So,
Yeah.
it sort of happens.
Yeah, I just raise an eyebrow every time you talk about February being spring swirling. It makes no sense.
Yeah. It's because we're rising to spring. It's not actually spring yet. I'm
you
sorry
Canadians
that you're
wanna
bad
laugh.
at making fantasy months, Jason. I bet your
If you
moons
Canadians
are
wanna
round and
laugh.
your worlds are spherical oblong shapes, okay? Helga, also known as Julia, how are the moray eels in your rivers?
It'll work this week. I was just helping out with a different team last week, so I don't know how they are. Hopefully they're good.
Well, I hope so. I'm now invested in those eels. So,
We need pictures.
anything cool?
They're probably gonna post pictures on Instagram soon. I don't know. For the team.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I
This
had a
is
good week.
Ilga. This is
Ilga.
Moray.
Actually, technically they're American eels, so they're American, like you.
Hey, nice. We'll give them citizenship and they can vote for our next president. I mean,
Nice.
senators, I guess. That's coming up soon. Coraline, also known as JC, also known as Rembrandt, the Dead Rat Man. How's it going?
Pretty good. Looking forward to seeing the return of Rembrandt.
Yeah?
Hopefully against the rating team.
That would be funny. Just send them another druid to fucking insta-gib them. Alright, guys, let's do our beautiful recap. Alden can't do it since he didn't watch the VOD, but who wants to, you know, do the recap? Fuck it. John looks at his notes. Anyone at all?
Well, we can do it. I suppose we started off by poking a dead leech man, something like this, and inspected it for the leech that we destroyed the week before. We didn't learn anything from it, but we thought that it was kind of odd that the leech man was there. And we tried to get some rest. In the morning, we headed off in the direction to the abandoned old fort or something like this. What the structure that we were supposed to investigate. And on the way, something great happened. Something pretty cool. We saw a monument that one would not want to call an obelisk for some reason.
I didn't. It's not an obelisk.
Crashed spaceship.
It
The fish.
yeah, and turns out
Fish.
Crashed
it was a
space
fish.
fish.
Yeah. Both of those, exactly. It was a crashed space fish. We didn't know it. We thought it was some sort of like trick. Perhaps John was going to kill us in some sort of spectacular way, but it turned out no. He was really rewarding us for our roll of the die. It was a silver thing that didn't make a sound when we hit it. We were very careful in approaching it. Anchoa kind of went around to the side and read some incantations that he found on the space fish. It accepted some sort of spell slot from him or some sort of incantation from him, and it opened up. And inside we found something pretty cool. It was a ship filled with dials, like cramped spaces, like bell writing on it, and a dead body, like literally a dead body in some sort of suit. After some jokes about what could we possibly do with it, we decided to pick up some sort of rod that the dead body was holding. Anchoa touched it first, and when he did, his mind kind of went blank and he kind of stayed there and he froze for a bit.
As normally
he was
happens when
saved.
touching a dead rod.
You know, I
Ah!
couldn't speak on the. There was a lot of rod jokes. There was a lot of touching jokes. There was a lot of all of this stuff kind of happened. This was also interspersed at this time. But we removed the rod. The players kind of goofed off with it. We tried to make Paradigm touch the rod for a bit there, and it's when Anchoa kind of did an identify on the suit and kind of put two and two together that the suit was probably this dead body. This guy touched the rod, and so he put the suit on. After removing the dead body from it, the dead body of whoever in the spaceship was kind of disintegrated. It was a male in particular. We didn't really focus too much on the dead inhabitants. Cho put on the suit. It didn't kill him. And then afterwards, he touched the rod, and it turned out to be a rod that Power Ranger rod with the Power Ranger suit.
I believe it's called Castle Power.
Yeah, it's called the Castle Power
Power.
Rangers. Okay?
Castle Power Rod.
A Castle Power rod, a blue one in particular, a royal blue and aquamarine one, if we were going to be exact. It was one where the rod would accept a spell slot, and for each level that it accepts it, it would shoot a 3d8 lightning damage to whatever. So Anchoa gained not only a snazzy new suit, he gained a nice little staff that he could shoot lightning from. And so he was happy. And everyone kind of was happy on this find for Anchoa. And, we left the space fish and we headed off to our destination. But also we marked little markings on trees to get to our final destination. When we finally got to this quest that we were trying to do, this abandoned fort, we found a jeep filled with rusted old tools, scavenged things, old equipment, some rations that we could eat, theoretically. We have not eaten them yet. And we found a hole, basically a well type thing. And we kind of connected a rope to it, leading down. Coraline decided to go in first, using her stealth abilities, and found the well empty. We followed suit, and following Coraline's guidance, we went down one route. We saw a lot of dead bodies entombed, and this is when Anchoa freaked out because dead bodies. Good lord.
Wait,
Helga.
hang on. You go and literally rip a morph suit off of one dead body, but when there's another dead body, you're like, no, that's way too crazy. What's
Well,
it?
you
What
know,
was it really
it's
about,
coupled
Angela?
It's coupled with Helga's comment that the dead bodies possibly could come to life, and this kind of set Ancho off. And he was like, "What? No, no, this is crazy. What are you talking about? There'd be an army of dead, bodies coming to kill us. Don't say such things." And he started freaking out after that, and Corleen was just going on her business of finding out what's the best way to go. And we went one way, then we went the other way, then we went the center way, as we should have done all along. Then again, we found another 3-point thing. We went one way, we went the other way, then we went the center way, as we should have went all along. And we found a kind of door smashed in. It was 2 big metal doors smashed in. And Corleen looked in and saw 4 leech people digging away with picks on the side of.
Not quite there. In that room, there was a sarcophagus that didn't look open, and on the other side of that room was a man-sized hole in the wall. And it's through there
was
that
a
we
room
saw
in
the
between
miners.
that, yeah. A room in between that. And that was the ting 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 metal thing that we've been hearing all along, because apparently this was started since Corleen first entered. And that's when a voice kind of appeared in Corleen's mind, and the voice said one sentence that Corleen has heard before. It was,
What have you done to conquer the worm?
yes.
What have you done?
I-
Really? I
Crashed
suppose
in
we
air.
can pick it up from there.
Uh,
To
well,
get us
the
a
last
bit...
thing I remember.
Yes, let's hear it.
Sorry, the last thing I remember is I was looking into that bigger room with the miners, and then out of the corner of my eye, I saw a little leech, and I immediately thought, "Oh crap, we should get out of here," and that's where we stopped.
You indeed feel this way, Coraline. For those who are wondering on the calendar, it is the 23rd of Spring Swirling, also known as not February. It is the late morning? Early afternoon? Something like that. You have descended into this catacomb-like area beneath a stone well that shot down into a hill. Paradigm, let's focus on you for a minute, because you come to. Your room is illuminated with dancing lights. Antoine has his night vision goggles on. Helga is standing beside you, and then Coraline just darted, 60 feet ahead across this pretty foreboding catacombs with a massive center stage sarcophagus. And by massive, I mean it's like, 8 feet wide, 12 feet long. So it's not too big, but it's pretty big.
Okay.
You want to say anything real quick, Paradigm? You've been awfully quiet for the past couple of days.
I nudge Helga. You know the spell silence?
I have heard.
So you don't know it.
I don't know it.
Oh, this is about to get loud.
Oh,
And I
no.
will duck behind a corner and watch Coraline go to work.
Coraline? You see a leech slithering down a wall, coming closer
Is
to
it-
you.
It's coming closer to me. I will backpedal and head back to the others.
You quickly step out of this crack in the wall where only one person could walk through at a time, escaping the cavern where repetitive but non-rhythmic metallic noises are coming from. You see your party members in the darkness with your dark vision.
I'll go up to them and whisper, there is a cavern with 4 miners. Not the little ones, the pickaxe type. They are digging for something. I know not what, but there was a slug on the wall. I think we should leave.
Was it a slug or a leech?
What's the difference? Neither are good to eat. It was
I don't
slimy, it was tiny, there was no shell to crunch.
I don't think slugs drink blood.
Still, do you really want to stay in this dark hole?
No.
Anshua, what do you think?
I think very hard, and I kind of like say that, guys, we should GTFO right back up where we came from. Just get some rest. I think we could take them, but if they if they could tank as hard as the first one, I don't have, one we could do, two we could do, four?
Helga's typing. ...
Yeah, sorry.
I did not see a slug bottom or a leech bottom on them. They were man-sized-ish. Oh yeah, there's a jeep outside waiting for us. Full tank of gas, but no keys.
There is a jeep.
It's not a jeep, it's a truck.
It's a truck.
I should say that I am interested in taking them, but not at this state, not at this current state. I have one spell slot, maybe two.
Paradigm
I
looks
mean,
at his
that's
spell book.
just-
It went blank because he's out of spells for the past 3 days.
I mean, if you really want, I can shoot them from here and see how
Not
strong
now.
they are. But
I
I think
think they're
maybe
slow,
It
but
might be a
their
good idea to
mind,
wait.
they have they have mind powers, and there's 4 of them, and they
Mhm.
tank, just not
You-
now, not this moment.
Do you remember the last time we fought one?
no, there was no leech bottom. This is just a man.
But you saw a leech coming down the wall.
Little leech. Right, John? How big?
Yeah, super tiny. Only
I mean,
like-
big for a leech, but
Yeah, small leech.
I said tiny.
Now is not the time. Now is not the time.
Not size
Thank you,
small. It's
Carly.
not a 2.5-foot leech guy. It's like, you know.
is it coming down the hallway towards us?
No, it was just like right
It's a
along the
little
wall,
leech.
climbing down. You know. As
Okay, but it's
those-
not heading towards us as far as we can see from here.
No, you outpaced it immediately. It was like it could only go a few inches per turn, like that.
Out of curiosity, can I cast comprehend languages and read anything in this room? Maybe on the sarcophagus?
You want to start
there was.
ritually casting comprehend
Yeah.
Should we
languages?
open the sarcophagus?
I thought that's what Coraline was doing.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I'd like to
Alright.
read.
Antoine,
set
with
something
his
off.
morph suit underneath his native Mokapunian clothing, begins to ritually dance to start comprehend languages. He's doing the Macarena, it looks like.
Can you guard the other door? I'll check the hole.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll go
John,
stand
I
by
pre-
the other door.
I'm just gonna stand by Temer and prepare a witch bolt if something comes near us.
The first level spell.
Yeah, I have 3 slots of those left. It's my only
Right.
damage spell left.
6 seconds go by of you readying Witch Bolt, and since you have no target, you burn your first level spell. There you go.
No, I said I was readying it for so when something comes by.
Yeah. You know how spells ready.
That is it, yeah. It
Okay.
is.
Go
I
ahead.
thought if you ready a spell and it doesn't go off, it doesn't get used.
No. That is... That's not even in the player's handbook, my man. It's a complete
No, it
opposite.
definitely gets used. What's up for grabs
Yeah.
is maybe how long the DM lets you hold it before you just
Okay.
lose it.
It's all good. Now, with a firm punishment applied to the guy who hasn't played in 2 weeks, we can move on. Coraline, you're going back to that little chasm?
No, I'm just going to stay at the entrance to the hole in that same room
Okay.
as the others with the sarcophagus, just with my shield and dagger ready in case something comes in.
I got you. Coraline, are you by the double doors that were broken into that lead to where you have come from?
No,
Helga
the hole.
is, yeah,
The
I
hole in
am.
the wall.
I'm asking Helga, not Coraline.
Oh, I thought you said Coraline.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, but Helga's
Oh,
by the double
sorry.
doors.
Got it. Too many names, guys. Too many
The heat's
names,
gotten
not
to
enough
'em.
Johns. You all can stand sentry. Stand waiting near Antoine as his ritual spell completes. Antoine, comprehend languages has been cast. Your eyes now read everything in the language of magic.
Awesome. Do I read any of the hieroglyphics on the tomb of the sarcophagus? Is
The
there anything?
8 foot by 12 foot long sarcophagus, you go up to it. Yes. You can see, kind of in the center, there is like a memorial or a plaque that has been made out of some kind of metal. Due to everyone not using real light right now, just their dark vision for the most part. Paradigm, you have Eyes of Night, right? Or the Goggles of Night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah. You don't see in any color, so you can't truly gauge what kind of metal this is. But a carving untouched by time, untampered by weather, is looking back at you, and as you focus on it, you go like reverse dyslexia, Zach Galifianakis, you know, you're thinking in numbers and letters and geometric shapes, and then you can translate this word, Antoine, or these words. John checks his notes to see if this guy actually had anything nice written about him.
Like
Let's
a
hope
man killed by worm or something like this? Or...
Let's hope it
No.
says nothing about a curse, then we can open it.
Let's hope it says buried with all his worldly goods.
Yeah, definitely no curse.
Buried with the keys to his
Sad.
favorite Jeep, which open any Jeep on the planet.
His eternal Jeep.
I'm looking at it. I need a moment. While this is happening, are any of you guys doing anything else? John has to find this person's name.
I twiddle my thumbs.
I'm
Is
just
it
staying
important?
at the doors.
Can we go? Sure.
We can. Yeah, we can, but just a minute. I'm reading.
Just let me read, man.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's sometimes I get the eagle eye confused with
okay.
the foot, you know, and the reed that comes up, and the you know, the wheat symbol.
This plaque, Antoine, is quite mysterious. It is both filled with, or it is written as a respectful monument to someone, and also kind of like a curse or an insult. It reads along the lines of, "Dearest Cinda, my favorite enemy, may you rest better than the one you..." John thinks for a moment because he didn't actually write this down. May you rest longer than the one who brought you here. Yeah.
Interesting.
There's
Cinda.
no, like, stone engraving of this person that would sometimes sit on a sarcophagus. You know how, like, sometimes they're decorated as the people underneath. Instead, it's just a flat stone slab with this metal plaque on it, which you translate. And please write that down, because I'm going to forget it.
Oh, what the thing?
No worries. So I relate this to the group and say, I think this was a fighter of some sort, laid to rest by their enemy.
Maybe there's a cool
respected
weapon
enemy.
in there.
Maybe.
John, can I
Why
cast
would an-
Detect Magic?
You want to start
Why would an
virtually
enemy-
casting Detect Magic?
No, I'm just gonna straight cast it. I don't care anymore.
Oh, you're going to hard cast it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, post Detect Magic. Paradigm, your eyes gleam, your hands glow, and you, in a different sort of sense, begin to look at the faint. And holy fuck, Antoine's blinding you with Matt. Holy What the fuck? His full body? Oh my god, he's covered in this like light bluish light. It's beautiful. He's
It's
so...
like when I looked at the tyrant.
Yeah, well, it's not that glorious, not that Gucci, but it is rather strong of a magical aura. The rod he is holding is the same color as well. Same power level.
What's the sarcophagus looking like?
The sarcophagus. Blocked by 1 foot of stone. Okay. You, beneath the stone, detect that there is indeed a magical presence underneath.
But nothing on the sarcophagus is outside itself.
Nope.
Guys, I think we should open it.
I kind of really want to open it. I really want to open it.
All right, but Elga, can I borrow that crossbow again, just in
Yeah.
case?
I hand her my crossbow and the 20 bolts.
All right.
Okay.
I'm
gonna actually-
I should say that I start to look down the hall to see if any like the dead that we went back.
I would have told you.
rise any sort of moment. Okay.
Passive perception exists in my world, Temer. I would have
Gotcha.
called you out if something was showing up.
I give the finger guns
Cool.
Alright,
to the rest.
we all take our places, getting ready to open the sarcophagus. Is it just me?
Okay, I help.
The only one with a strength score of anything higher than 10?
Paradigm,
I have 13,
you can
thank you very much.
easily begin sliding this slab off of the stone cairn beneath it.
I
where
don't
someone-
let it hit the ground, I drop it on the... I set it on the ground.
Okay, cool. You
You
don't
know what I mean?
disrespectively throw open the slab and have it break immediately because it's a heavy piece of stone not meant to sit at any other angle aside from laying down.
Yeet.
Is that what you do, Paradigm?
I kind of just like push it over, hold it, and like let it lay at a
Perfect.
diagonal.
You do this. The stone, as soon as you break open, you can feel a little bit of air that probably hasn't been released from this cairn in who knows how long. Slap you in the face. And as you guys with your Splinter Cell night goggles look into this gravestone, you indeed can see some things. The first and most notable of being a 5.5, closer to 5'9" body that has been mummified, mostly skeletal remains. Their dried flesh clinging to their bones, all muscle having rotted away, withered really. They are dressed in a leather armor, or what appears to be like some sort of studded leather armor that has sort of been mummified. These black straps that you can somewhat see through your night vision. In their arm, or in the nook of their arm, so like in between their armpit and elbow, there is a metal handle with a chain wrapped around it. What else does this person have? They were laid to rest with their cloak, and on their forehead is a circlet of some kind as well.
I want to look at the circlet, and what color is it?
Due to your night vision goggles, all colors.
No, I
are
mean the
meaningless.
detect magic color.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you cannot discern color in darkness.
Okay.
But
I
you
thought
know,
it was different.
It doesn't produce light, right? So if you were out in
see.
the daylight, and totally, I would tell you what school of magic it was. With most enchantments, they're all the same. With most enchantments, they are usually just a form of alteration or enchantment, depending on what it is. It's like spell effects, and then like the school kind of matters, because if someone has like 4 different spells on them, and then you can clock like, okay, he's got 2 abjuration, 1 transmutation, and like 1 illusion going. But when it comes to
Okay.
magical items, it's like all the same school, really. Called Alteration, the subsect, or the subsect that controls or groups all schools together.
Okay. I'm gonna look to the others. I'm gonna tell them, hey, there's like some pretty decent leather armor on this person, and they got an axe handle under their arm and a circlet.
So let's take it and get out of here.
And then I take the circlet.
You pull the circlet off its head. As you do so, give me an Arcana check to see if you know what this is, just off pure glance.
Nope.
No, you do not. It is a nice, smooth texture in your man fingers, horseboy, as you
Ew.
pull it off her head. Try not to touch her mummified skin. But if this corpse was not really a corpse, but an undead, they probably would have activated at this point. So I don't know if anyone was ready to fight this body, but it does not reanimate.
Good.
Which is
Didn't even
nice.
think about it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it a lot.
You know.
And then I grab weapon, and I take weapon.
Yeah, as you grab the handle with a chain wrapped all the way around it, you pull it free, and dangling, having been hidden by the handle itself, is a rather vicious-looking flail head. This is a flail.
I'm so happy.
I assume you keep it wrapped at the moment.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
that's noisy. And
It makes it...
does anyone here use leather armor?
It could be good for Helga.
do. I'm already wearing some. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't look better than mine.
Is studded leather is that plus
Probably.
2? Or is that like that's
It's the best light armor.
Studded
Yeah.
leather
What do you
is
have,
12
Helga?
plus dex. But
I
if
just
this
have normal
is
leather.
magical, then it could be something else.
Yeah,
does
I'll
it
take
have
Why
any
not?
form of glow on it?
Say that again?
Does it have any form of glow on it?
I said the things that did because you wouldn't be interested in all the other bullshit around her. For
Oh,
those of
okay,
you
I
who
gotcha.
care, there are small totems that have like tokens written or like stone religious symbols from an older faith back when. Lots and lots of these surround her. She's kind of... So, like, a cairn is kind of like a coffin, you know, but it's just, like, set in one place rather than, you know, you can move it and then lower it, and it's like a bed in some cases. This is, like, where you'd put someone and their treasure hoard, but this person doesn't seem to have a treasure hoard. Instead, it's, like, sentimental items that somebody left for this person, as if they truly cared, rather than, like, leaving a warlord with all their money and like a dead slave and Nordic monstrosities. This is a very weird, atypical cairn for those experienced in robbing graves.
Is anyone
I'm
else looking
interested.
in this thing that other than me? Because
was
I would
anyone else
show
what?
Temur the religious symbols.
It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
you
it
two.
was-
Me and Helga are guarding the doors.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the religious symbols and the kind of the setting, the place, the history behind it, these type of stuff. It interests me like vastly. Like I'm kind of a documenter, kind of someone who studies these things,
Yep.
who's just very interested in this type.
Well,
So-
guess we're robbing a corpse of its religious
Iconography.
tokens.
Yeah.
I mean, might as well. Yeah. Can I slip this armor off real quick?
No.
Yeah,
And then-
strip the second body in one day.
Yes, I
You
mean, really,
cannot
that's
just
what-
pull it off. You'll have to take it out of its cairn.
Well,
and
I
you'll
grab
have to
some.
go through the process of removing the armor, which will take like a minute or two.
Just
Yeah.
rip the legs off and the arms off and the heads off. It comes off real easy.
Let's go for it. Let's disembody this person.
You're gonna disembody
so
this person.
mean.
No.
Can-
I'm just gonna take the armor off
Okay.
and hope it's
awesome.
not sticking to the dead flesh too much.
Surprisingly, it's
Yeah.
not. It comes off cleanly after you find the straps on the shoulders. It's kind of like a, I suppose it has shoulder straps which go down to like the protective casing you'd wrap around your torso. It is rather weird, Paradigm, because it's like a full suit of studded leather. It's not like a simple vest or a body armor. It's like sleeves are kind of attached to it in like segments and then wrapped together or clicked together with some buttons and straps. There are laces everywhere. This thing is rather ornate and would look like to be a bitch to put on or take off. Paradigm, give me a sleight of hand check just to see how long it takes you. Okay, wow. Paradigm, good at undressing bodies. If only he was here when Antoine needed him most.
Suck at magic, but I'm great at undressing dead things.
Apparently. Have you considered becoming like a, grave tender?
Grave digger.
Yeah.
Or an embalmer.
An embalmer,
A
yeah.
mortician.
Rumble Roar, what's up?
Mortician is the word I think.
A mortician, yes.
Alright.
Paradigm,
And then lastly,
you
I'll just
take
take
off
the
this
iconography.
ornate, elaborate leather armor off the corpse. And as you do so, the corpse withers away into dust.
Oh.
Don't forget the cloak. You said that was a nice cloak.
Did you?
There was a nice cloak.
Yeah, we'll grab the cloak too. We'll
Alright,
just grab everything. We're just taking everything.
Okay, you grab this comfortable looking cloak. Anything else you guys want to do?
Is that enough grave robbing or what?
Is there another sarcophagus?
No.
There's lots more. Don't you remember? We
could,
passed
yeah.
them.
Like if we wanted to, we could spend a lot of time grave robbing, but I'm not entirely sure we are built right now for this type of stuff. Like it's great we found these things, and I quietly say a few words of remembrance to the dead, but I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, like
It's been like, 10, 12 minutes since Coraline first stepped into that cavern with metal just clinging against a stone wall. No one else has gone in there. You're all just taking Coraline on their word. And it's, getting later in the day. Are you guys,
I think it's time to biff out.
Are you guys
Yeah,
leaving?
let's go. Maybe we'll come back in when we're
Sure.
rested.
Totally. You guys can head out. It is merely like 300 feet away to the exit.
He sounds happy that we're leaving. That's a trap.
Yeah, because he knows we don't have a way back to Tulsk.
If we
We
can
have a
find
way-
keys.
Or if we hotwire the truck.
Yeah, we can hotwire it. Or apparently we can pick the key thing, according
Yeah, you
to
can.
somebody last week.
Was it Brood who told us this? Was it who was it?
Just need to be
I asked
able
my
to
friend
activate
who
the
used
igniter.
to have to turn on his car with a screwdriver how he did this. And if you remove the bottom part of your steering wheel console, there is a little piece that you can sort of force with it. Does anyone
Just need
have
to be able to activate the igniter.
modern vehicles proficiency?
Like hell.
I have land vehicles.
What? Helga was a city slicker, guys. Her parents took her to driving school, unlike you all.
I can't drive.
It's
I was a
true.
very comfortable middle class girl.
Yeah.
Internal
apparently.
combustion does not work under the sea.
It's true.
I grew up on an island. Come on.
I'm a horse.
You guys
It's okay,
can
one
leave.
day.
Paradigm. How are you getting out?
Yeah, I was trying to ask how I got down in the first place.
Yeah, I cast Spider Climb on you.
Yeah, well,
But now you've
You had a
Yeah.
short rest before.
yeah, you've gotten rid of that because detect magic's concentration. So maybe I should have told you that before you casted detect magic.
yeah,
Does anyone have
I have
enough strength to lift a
can-
400-pound horse person off the ground?
6.
All
can
three of us
cast
work
levitate.
together.
No, don't worry. If
Oh, you can cast
we start
levitate?
the jeep, we can just pull you.
I can cast levitate. So
Fuck, that would work.
if you need it, I can levitate.
This tunnel is less than 60 feet down. It's 55. Meaning, if you
Oh,
cast
nice.
levitate on Paradigm, you
Nice.
could lift him to the top.
Please, God, cast levitate on me. I don't
Alright.
want to deal with a truck trying to tear me apart.
You're willing, so there's no problem on this one.
Wait, are you less than 500 pounds?
Oh, he must be. He's
John said
500 is a
400.
lot.
Yeah, something like that. Paradigm, you begin to rise. Coraline, Helga, you may begin climbing the rope. Antoine, you should probably stay down there until Paradigm's at the top. Because if you slip,
Yeah.
I'm going to make you do a concentration check, and then, you know,
Doing the
yeah.
It's
So
like
then
Anakin
you-
Jedi
Skywalker,
mind
yeah.
tricking me up.
Luke Skywalker thing.
Perfect. 16, 18 seconds later, something around then. No. 20 feet. Yeah, okay, so 18 seconds later, Paradigm, you are now hovering at the top. You can reach your arms out to one side and begin to pull your way
do.
via the levitate spell. As you get over the edge, though, you will go outside of the 60-foot range of levitate and just have... The spell will end, basically.
Okay.
Antoine, you may climb up the rope now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We're all up.
You are all up, assisting each other, having been trained in a military no one has to do. John's bullshit rope. Can you climb a rope with all your shit on it?
I'm
You
going to
guys-
pull up the rope.
You pull up the rope. You are outside in the somewhat beautiful, very peaceful forest within the Jorgen River Valley. It's rather nice.
All right, let's take a better look at that stuff.
I pull out the stuff.
All right.
You see Coraline pause for a second, take a couple of deep breaths. Okay. Now, about that car. Elga, you said you thought you might be able to start it.
Oh, well, I can drive it definitely. Starting it, that's another question.
I mentioned that since we're on the other end of the river, we probably need to drive down to Alcazan. Simply because unless there's a bridge
Oh
taking
no.
us to the other
Oh,
end
no.
of the river.
It's
We're
probably
going
closer than Tolst anyway.
This is where we die. We go back to Alcazan.
Just
Shit.
just to let you know, we are in a place where, you know, we can't drive unless we get out and walk. You know.
How's this
Do-
truck look? Does it got 4-wheel drive? Can we ford a river?
It has 8 wheels. It is a actual land vehicle. This ain't no, like, this is meant for off-roading with mass things inside of it. It is a transport vehicle built to go off-road. So, you know, like,
He might be
But
able
can
to
it ford
cross.
a river? But can it ford a river? That's a good
probably
question.
not. It's a vehicle. It's not like, it doesn't have flippers. There's no, like, bottom part.
have flippers.
There's no balloons that extend or inflate on the sides to keep it up. Probably
That's
just go
good. We'd have
straight
bad
down.
experiences with balloons.
And it looks somewhat rusty. It's not in the most or best condition. Here, guys. Looks like it hasn't been used and has been a victim of the elements out here in the wild for several months.
Has
You know
anyone
what,
looked
guys?
inside the cabin of the vehicle yet?
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, the keys
yeah.
are not there.
We can, and this is a possibility. We can kind of make a rest here and see if we can take these leeches. I'm not going to say we should, but I'm saying that is an option.
I look
Or
at
we
not a-
can,
not a
unless we
horrible
get all of
option.
our spells back. I don't know how well we'll do.
yes, I mean, gonna be a short rest, and so
Well,
unfortunately, that's not gonna be enough. Yeah.
if they are still mining, I can sneak up on them and shoot them from far, and then run back to you, and then block the tunnel for you. But
They tank. I don't know
that-
if we can even
that
take
last
one
one.
of them.
That might work for one until the one next to it sees you and doesn't like that you killed its friend.
Don't think he'll kill it, but yeah.
no, I was going to
Um,
shoot it and then run away.
Yeah.
I mean, they did just look like people, right? Like they didn't look like the big leech thing, so maybe they're easier to kill than the big leech thing.
In my experience, people are easier to kill than giant leech things. Yes.
Yeah, fair enough.
What have you done to conquer the worm, Coraline?
I think you have to conquer the worm, Coraline.
It's clearly.
What is this worm? We killed the slug, not a worm.
Yeah, but what have you done to conquer the worm, Coraline?
All right, I go up to the truck. I'm done with this. I
Okay.
start looking
Coraline.
around at the truck.
Coraline,
Is
what have you
Coraline
done to
good for
conquer the
leech?
worm?
What have I done to conquer the worm?
Yeah.
What worm? Where's the worm?
Where is the worm, Coraline? As your
No idea.
attention, for whatever reason, is suddenly directed north.
Oh no.
You look north and you don't see anything. But something about the wind. What have you done to conquer the worm, Coraline?
No.
Interesting.
Oh no.
Interesting. Interesting.
John,
Yes.
why?
There's something to the north.
What?
Is there?
Helga, can you look at the truck, please?
I'm not sure.
Wait, I'm concerned about this worm thing, though. I'll look at the truck in a minute.
Oh no.
I'm perplexed. I don't know.
I just want to go home.
Maybe try to turn on the truck. I'll go see what's in the north.
How
Yeah,
far?
what have
I
you
don't
done
know.
to conquer the worm, Coraline?
I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea, Coraline.
Is
I
this
don't
just
think we should let you go
reverberating in his
alone.
head?
Not
Yeah,
in this
it
state.
is.
Not in this state.
Helga and
Not
Antoine are
in-
metagaming, really. Because Coraline, this is all
yeah,
in
maybe.
your head. This isn't
Yeah.
John telling all the
You're
party.
right.
Coraline,
right.
there's something to the north,
Absolutely
and what
right.
have you done to conquer the worm?
100% right.
I think there's something that might help us in the north. Just
Like
stay
what?
here. I'll go check it out.
Wait, but how far are you going?
Alright, bye.
Couple minutes walk.
Okay, don't go farther than a couple minutes.
Don't worry. I have your crossbow. I'll be fine.
Okay, but I expect to get that crossbow back,
That's
so
true.
don't go farther than a couple minutes.
I promise. I won't go further than I need to shoot the horse.
The horse?
I'll stay within shooting the horse distance.
Okay, but don't actually shoot the horse.
No, of course not. He is a teammate, and we shall respect our teammates. She
Oh, yeah,
mutters
yes.
as a often repeated mantra.
Yeah. You're trying to conquer the worm. I understand.
Alright, have a nice walk.
Coraline goes on a walk to the north. Paradigm,
Hubert,
Helga,
Coraline.
and Antoine, you need to use your galaxy brains to try to get this car working without the car keys. So, can I get a group intelligence check from you three? As
What's that
Coraline,
doing?
you take off into the woods, at first at a slow pace, and then you're out of horse shooting distance. Do you stop?
No.
Well,
Alright.
well,
You head off into the woods alone. I'm still
See,
waiting
for
an
on
ex
another
character-
Antoine.
is this a save?
No, just an intelligence
Right.
check.
Let's just check.
Yeah, just click that intelligence button.
That's pretty good for Helga.
Yeah, that's really good
know.
for Helga.
I don't have an intelligence button. Where do I find it?
It is, you know, your intelligence score.
Just click
Oh,
on the
yes, it
intelligence
clicks,
button.
Yes,
There you go.
absolutely right. I can click on that.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Helga's
Her
so
intelligence.
used to Helga's
vehicles.
going that way.
Antoine
unclick that?
lived in a literal
Wow.
tribal archipelago surrounded by walls. It's
A
fun. He's
2
never
out of
seen
20.
a land vehicle before in his
2.
life.
Out of 20.
Very
Amazing.
nice. Paradigm, you just have a greater understanding of modern technology. Maybe because it interests you, maybe because your mother kept you from it for so long, or maybe it's because during the races within what's it called, Nevotor's Arsenal, you would sometimes have to go up against like an actual moving car, like a dune buggy, and you know you'd never win that shit. So
That's why I always
you'd-
got second place.
yeah. Like, how can you beat something that fucking goes 60 miles an hour, right? But, you know, you learned over time how to, like, magic missile parts of it.
I learned how to take him down from the inside.
Yeah. So Paradigm, Helga, and Antoine, more curious bystander than anything, you guys will begin fucking with the wiring as Coraline heads north. And Coraline, you walk for about 20 minutes, this feeling of knowing something is to the north. Just a little bit north. And you come to a small clearing. Well, clearing's not the truly right word. It's like a, I suppose a pond would be the most gracious of terms. It doesn't have the best water. It looks a bit stagnant, let's be honest. You can see that it hasn't rained in this area for a little while, apparently, because like the waters, you can see where there's just lines of dirt and mud. The pool itself is somewhat shallower than it normally would be, if the water line means anything. And in the center there is a dead tree that's kind of sticking out of the middle of the pond, as though it grew up through the water itself. This weird black bark tree.
And that's what I'm being pulled towards?
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk towards it.
You're gonna walk into the pond?
No problem. I breathe water.
You do breathe water, but do you breathe swamp water or salt water?
Yeah.
Alright. You walk through...
I'll put my cloak over my nose underwater to filter it.
Well, it's shallow. It's only about 2 feet deep. You don't even need to swim. At most, this pond at the deepest would be like 4 feet. And the tree, part of it still showing that, like, as though part of its bark had been stripped away from, like, fish or random pond creatures over time. Probably ducks more than anything else. But underneath that water line, it's just, like, bare bark. And then as you get closer to this strange black tree, you get about 5 or 10 feet away from it when you notice that bark's moving. Vibrating. Gyrating?
Like, as if it's covered in slugs?
Yeah, as if it's
Or
covered
leeches?
in thousands upon thousands of leeches.
I will back out of the water.
Yeah, totally. You back out of a pond and your ankles are covered in leeches that are
But what have
drinking
you
your
done
blood.
to conquer the worm?
What have you done to conquer the worm, though, Coraline?
Not enough, apparently. I'll start scraping off the leeches with my dagger.
Alright, you just start cutting into them, chopping them off. Their teeth, as we all know, leeches are horrible when you just cut them out because all of their millions of little teeth remain within your skin. What do you call it? They, like, inject some kind of, like, painkiller.
Like a numbing agent.
Yeah, a numbing agent so that they can remain undetectable. Yeah. You can do it. It takes a while. On the shore, a bunch of mouthless leeches you've cut begin to writhe on the ground, seeking water, but bleeding to death.
Oh, but not Helga, unfortunately. So are these kind of the same size as the one I saw in the mine?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'll take one of the dead
Inch long
ones,
at most.
and I'm going to shoot a crossbow at the tree.
Yeah, make an attack roll.
It's one big leech.
That, I did not ask for damage, but thank you for rolling that anyway.
Oh, I just have it on auto roll.
Okay, cool. You shoot the tree. The tree is embedded. You hear nothing as the crossbow bolt embeds itself into a leech, the force of it striking the tree, knocking some of them off. What have you done to conquer the worm?
What worm?
You just
I yell
shout
at the
this?
tree.
You just yell.
What effing worm? Sacre bleu!
You
French
hear
confirmed.
a voice as you shout. A toneless, inflectionless voice. John looks at his notes as you try to conquer the worm. From the tree, the leeches begin to conglomerate at its base. At the very top of it, having once been covered by this black bark, which you have discovered to be thousands upon thousands of leeches, a very pale person, relatively humanoid with long arms that stretch for nearly 10 feet long into these massive hands. It looks like they have 2 elbow joints almost, so it's just like this weird, strange creature. Their head is shaven bare. Their ears are long and pointy. This creature calls out to you in its psychic voice. To you, Coraline. You wish to conquer the worm.
I don't even know what worm.
The worm.
Whoa. Which worm?
The worm inside of you. I too
I'm an
wanted
elf.
to conquer the worm. I have failed and have become worm.
But I have no worm.
You are a worm. You are just ignorant of this fact.
What happens if you conquer it?
You become human. And, like, you think for a moment as it says human, and clearly, like, it doesn't mean the species human. That is, like, your mind trying to put together a word you understand. I think the more optimal translation would be you become you. And it's very, very weird, this creature. It is standing on top of this dead tree. Standing being a strange word, too, because its bottom half is now a giant leech, which is biting into its waist, and its pale humanoid torso. It's like a weird-looking mermaid, honestly, guys. Like, instead of, like, a fishtail, it's a literal leech. And then it's,
A
like,
leech maid.
weird hag and troll, bony arms. Ugh, this thing's just weird.
Do you need help with the bottom half?
I am
I kind of dip my crossbow up as if to, suggest a path of action.
It does not care. It does not seem to be bothered or in pain or anything. Perhaps this is what it was always, just a worm. This entity calls out to you. You, who seek to conquer the worm, do so quickly, or the worm will conquer you.
How does one conquer a worm?
You must become who you are.
But I have always been me.
No.
I mean, I had this dream of being a turtle person a while ago, but that was ridiculous.
Much of you is still worm.
All right. Is that all you wanted to say?
No. Seek out, and then there is a psychic shriek that enters your head, Coraline. How much HP do you have?
32.
Okay, so I don't have to worry about killing you as you take... where are my D8s? There's 2. Here's 3. Ooh, that's a good roll. 9 plus 6 is often 15 psychic damage, Coraline, as your mind tears itself apart. The only words that you can possibly... Not even words, because that's like multiple things. It's just one. The most you understand was seek out and then... just in your ears and mind, and then, you know, your nose starts to bleed. And then just softly, Dan.
Oh no.
D-A-N.
Dan?
Yeah. Seek out... Dan.
And is there an image that goes with it?
No.
Or just the name? No?
Just Dan. This thing can't convey images, only words. It is a
Okay,
creature
so
made of
screaming
words.
Dan.
Yeah.
With her nose starting to bleed a little bit, Coraline's gonna back up,
Yeah.
and then back up faster, and then turn around and run back to her friends.
You run back, and 10 minutes later, so 30 minutes, Coraline has been gone, team, which, you know, you guys playing with a vehicle this entire
that's
time.
just-
Coraline comes back, huffing, puffing, and her chest, her shirt, just covered in her own nose blood, which has not stopped bleeding.
Still covered in leeches.
Partially. She has leeches on her ankles and calves and knees, but, you know, that's bleeding too, actually. Funny how that's working. It's as though
Really,
your mind has
nothing
had a
looked like
blood
shit.
thinner applied to it.
I look up and huff, ha, Coraline, go back to one. Go back to
I
sticking
go
some
back
sort
to
of
my
machine onto
favorite
another.
wires.
That's clearly wrong. I'm like trying to connect wires that are clearly.
He's playing the block puzzle, but he's putting the circle and the star.
Yeah. Like, Coraline
You're rolling the
clearly-
window
clearly
up and
didn't-
down.
Yeah.
I look up and am genuinely concerned for my friend. Coraline, you look like shit. What happened?
Little accident. I met someone in the woods. They were not helpful.
No, they
The
weren't.
fuck or the worm?
What? How did you hear about the worm?
You talked about it like when the first time you heard it.
Oh, right. Yes, the thing. There was this tree in the woods, and it had a pond around it, full of leeches. The tree was covered in leeches. And then I yelled at the tree. And then the leeches, they came together and showed a pale, strange being. Arms longer than it was tall. And, long pointed ears. And it said that it had failed to conquer the world.
And
And
at
I
this
should hurry.
moment, Paradigm in the engine itself trying to turn this thing on. You succeed! The vehicle is now on with your 21 intelligence check.
I'm like, woohoo! Wow, I knew I could do it.
Probably crawl into the. I probably climb into the bed of the truck because I won't fit inside.
Zero. You will not fit into the cabin.
You're there with all the junk that the previous grave robbers put in there.
Yeah.
Is there junk in there?
Yeah, there's a couple crates filled with, like, canned food. This was clearly, like, an
Oh, okay.
expedition of some kind. As well as rotted metallic weapons that were robbed from the tomb you guys had been into. But apparently they never got to the sarcophagus, because all that shit was fine.
Oh.
So the truck is working. We should go.
Yeah, you want to finish this story while we drive?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Most
sense
Coraline,
ever
you're
made.
beginning
Let's
to
get outta
become a
here.
bit pale as well. You're losing a lot of
You
blood.
should get the rest of those leeches off before you get in the car.
Oh, right. Do you have any fire? I hear that works better than the knife.
I have
Or salt?
Definitely have
firebolt.
fire.
I have firebolt.
Definitely have.
Timer points to the electric bolt wand.
Uh,
Can
perhaps
shot them off.
Perhaps I will use a stick in my tinderbox.
Maybe
That's
shock?
smart. That's smart.
Okay. Okay.
Never
Shock.
sad.
So,
Alright.
so what I'll do is, I'll take a stick, I'll cast Booming Blade on the stick, and
Oh
I will
no.
poke the leech.
I'll take care of them.
Unfortunately, Booming Blade requires a martial weapon at least worth 5 silver pieces.
Oh, seriously?
Yes.
You're right.
Lucky for you, you were about to fucking blow yourself and the truck up.
John, can I use Booming Blade on the truck? I want to use it as a melee weapon.
I recently found out that I have medicine proficiency. Could I do? could I help him out in basically getting the leeches off of him?
Yeah, let's see a medicine check.
Since this is
Timmer.
part of my thing. This is leech
Intro.
application and removal is
Yep. Let's
it's
see
the
it.
witch doctor code.
Leeches.
Kapuni has some leeches.
Yeah, I'm excellent at this.
Holy
You know what
fuck!
you're doing.
You're the worst, like, smart person ever. Like, you're just, like, fumbling all your shit.
He just grabs the leech and rips it off.
Oh my god.
There's a tooth left in there.
Antwal, how do you fail this medicine check? You describe it.
You know, I'm used to the leeches in Mokapuni, and these things come off easy, like really easy, you know. But this, like, real, like you know, mainlander leeches,
Yeah.
like they have like teeth, and they're vicious. And so when I'm like removing them, I'm kind of removing like maybe the tail end of the leech by leaving 90% of the leech still stuck on poor Corlene's body, and I'm like, yeah, don't worry. And I kind of toss it back and like, we'll get at the rest of the stuff easy. And I just, nope, 5% each, and that's kind of how I'm getting at the leeches. I'm just like ripping each like 5% of them, and I'm getting slowly to the closer and closer to Corline.
Dying.
Orly's just
I'm
gritting her
like-
teeth. Respect your teammates.
See, the thing is, Corwin, you don't feel any pain from this, like, at all. Like,
Oh, okay.
There's, like, numbing little pock marks on your skin, which you can feel tingling. There's also the worrying amount of blood you've lost. But,
Worrying.
you know, because it thin, like a leech thins your blood, and how people would die to leech bites is, you know,
Take it off.
they wouldn't really get it treated.
Are there still a
Yours,
lot of leeches
Corley.
attached?
No worries,
There's a
Corline,
couple,
I got this.
but you guys can mostly get them off. The bigger problem is you're bleeding to death now.
Do we have any bandages?
Does anyone have a healer's kit?
Nope.
No, I
anyone
lost mine in
else?
the crash.
Is anyone
I
else
have-
medicine proficient?
Please.
I have parchment. We can wrap it in parchment.
I have a -1 if you want me to try that.
Are you
I
proficient
definitely have
in
a
medicine?
medicine check, but
Paramount?
Used it.
I'm definitely proficient in medicine, but I've already did a check on removing leeches.
Yeah.
I'm quite afraid. I'm quite afraid.
It sounds like Corwin's just gonna bleed at this point.
Well, I'll
I
try
can-
wrapping
I
it up
can-
in whatever cloth we've got.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
If
not
I-
trained, so
If I did healing light, would that help and stop the bleeding?
I can
Uh,
run down and get some of the
no.
shawls off the dead people if you want, you know? It'd be real quick. Like, real quick. Dead shawl? The dead shawl, you know? Like, wrap dead shawl?
What about
Oh, what am I
Infection.
talking
Just
about?
grab.
There's a fucking healer's kit in the truck. You can just go to that. I'm being stupid for no reason. You guys can literally just go back to where their healing supplies are. I thought just fucking
Oh.
get some bandages out. Put some Neosporin and some aloe vera.
I'm sitting here trying to kill
Nice.
us.
Yeah, I'm being
I was
a
hoping we'd use
dumbass.
some fucking mummy
Nice.
shawl and then we'd have an infected wound.
Well, Corwin's already infected, so it doesn't matter.
I think
every
All right.
game.
The truck is going. Who's
Every
driving?
character.
Where are you guys going?
I'm driving.
Yeah, definitely.
I wish Paradigm could drive.
I
I
hop
think you
in the
got
front
this.
seat and I'm like, all right, where are we going?
Shotgun.
Let's
Before I
go
grab in the back,
southwest.
I'm gonna.
Southwest. If we follow the river, we should get to Alcazan, and we can get a blimp or what have you back to Tolst. But we will need to get to civilization first. And, Alcazan is big enough. We'll hit it if we follow the river.
I remind Temer of the last time we were there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that Jerome, to our knowledge, he is still the main
Yeah.
presence there.
Sean looks at his.
If I remember from the map, the path to Alcazan is much easier than to Thorazar or Tolst.
Yes,
Wait.
but there's an army of crow people trying to kill us specifically.
Did you
That
say
we-
Jerome earlier? Wasn't that Aurelia's best friend?
I didn't say that name, and no,
I thought you said
You
it
know-
to Temer.
it was a demon that pretended to be her friend and then promptly murdered her with his
Jerome?
minions.
Killed a lot
Fair
of us.
enough.
Like, we don't kind of say that name around here.
Did
And
somebody
when we
call?
get to Alcazan, you get to Alcazan, no like J talk. Just say like J, and say J or what have you. But
Got it.
Bird
Jerome.
fucker.
So you
Do
guys
you one
begin
better.
a
I already
journey with
forgot his
Helga driving. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Helga, why don't you go ahead and make me a land vehicles proficiency check?
I just clicked it and then it said attribute question
Yeah,
mark.
we need an attribute to assign to this, and it sure as shit isn't charisma. I think it's going to be a wisdom
Why
check.
not though?
Intelligence or wisdom is what I would
X,
probably
maybe?
say.
Okay,
I'm
I
gonna
guess,
roll
well,
a 1d2, or I guess I'm gonna roll a 1d3, and 1, 2, 3. It's gonna be an int-based check. 4, 5, 6 is gonna be wisdom.
No.
It's an intelligence-based check.
no.
Yes.
Oh, no.
But you are proficient with
oh
it,
wow,
so
wow.
please.
Okay.
hey,
With advantage because we're helping her?
yeah.
No, unfortunately, nobody else has his proficiency, so there's nothing you can do to assist her.
Ah,
That sucks.
Coraline, you
Sorry.
begin traveling southward. Or not Coraline. Fuck. Helga, excuse me. Coraline is bleeding out in your passenger seat.
No, we had healer's kit.
Yeah, I know what I said.
automatic with proficiency of Hilliard's kit. Automatic.
I know what I said.
Getting a little woozy. I'm gonna take a nap, Helga.
I think you should maybe eat
No,
something.
no.
You want to eat
Get away
something?
from the light. Yeah, yeah. Coraline, like, just, think alive thoughts. Think living thoughts. Yeah. living
Helga,
thoughts.
you're getting kind of distracted, and suddenly, after you break through the trees, and you're like, okay, we're going smooth sailing on this big grassy thing, and you're like, keeping an eye on Coraline. Anchois in like the rightmost seat, so all three of you are in the cabin while Paradigm's alone in the back, just holding on for dear life.
Oh, we're gonna crash.
Also, I feel the need
Sobbing
to
to
say
himself.
I am not driving slowly. I am like flooring
Yeah, no, we
it.
didn't
Yeah,
think
I
so.
know. Helga, what's your passive perception?
Not good. It's a 9.
It's a 9. You're going to get about 30 feet away from a gorge that you are heading straight into. Please
Good
give
lord.
me a dexterity saving throw or an acrobatics
Oh,
check. Or
God.
no, not acrobatics. Sleight of hand. To see if you can turn quick enough, stop your momentum, and not kill your entire party by crashing them into a open air chasm.
Okay, it was dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You're like trying to turn the wheel and hit the brakes.
Worse?
A 10.
Oh god.
We might survive. but we lose
E-brake.
the truck.
Paradigm, please make me a strength saving throw as our Helga, your driver, suddenly hits the brake. Oh god, Paradigm.
Even as a wizard with +4 to that save, I can't roll shit.
Paradigm, you are getting battered around and suffer 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you just like go from one side of a, and then you just get thrown to the other side. Your horse body's energy shield trying to protect you from this reckless driving. As Helga, you don't go all the way off the edge of this gorge. This giant ravine, which is now clearly in front of you. It's kind of Grand Canyon-esque. It's amazing how you missed it, actually. But, you know, not really paying attention to the road, getting distracted. Well, not even road. The field, getting distracted. And then, you know, you hit the brakes. You hit the emergency brake. You try to turn at a different angle. And, you know, the first 3 or 4 wheels go off the edge. And the cabin is beginning to fall into this gorge with the trailer that is where Paradigm currently stationed at.
I quickly run off and jump in off of the truck.
Can I grab them? Can I grab them? Can I grab them both and just like feather fall? Like can I get them both like?
You want to go down the gorge?
Well, I'm assuming the car is going already with the weight
stopped.
tipping over.
No, he
It's
said
only
it's
3
hanging
wheels.
on.
There's 5 more.
Oh, we might be good. Okay.
Put it in reverse gear.
Okay, I put it in reverse.
Give me another
And I floor it.
land vehicles check as you go from braking to suddenly going full reverse. Oh my god.
Hey,
Okay.
Finally.
You are lucky this vehicle has rear wheel drive. If it had front wheel drive, you guys would be kind of fucked right now.
Oh yeah.
You quickly just start hitting pedals, switches, a lever, and go full reverse. Paradigm, you were trying to get out to see what the fuck was going on, and then suddenly you are thrown to the very back of the trailer, which is, you know, closest to the cabin, so everyone in there just hears a horse body slap against the metal, interior of his, his trailer there.
I call out and I yell, sorry.
And then you can reverse about 30 or 40 feet away from it. Go into front and begin to turn if you are still trying to get to Alcazan as quickly as you can.
I'm gonna stop for a
slower!
second. I'm gonna stop for a second, just like catch my breath.
Alright, you stop. You put into park.
I like
you know
bang
what
on
park
the
is.
wall of the trailer and I'm like, are you okay?
Just go slower from now on.
Okay.
Ancho is like kind of vomiting.
Faster is more fun.
This is a rough ride.
Coraline, Antoine, you just looked at you guys
unconscious
almost
elf.
dying. Ugh.
I'm just like, I start driving and I'm like, in my defense, I never said I passed my driving test.
Kind of a recurring theme, eh?
I took it a couple times, you know, I never passed.
Coraline, this gorge is rather huge and expansive. It stretches for several dozen miles. It is
Wide?
very Grand Canyon-esque. But the real big question, well, it's not even that wide, really. It's kind of thin. It's only like a mile or so wide at the very... No. Okay, wow.
Would
Parts
this
of it are
be a
much
canyon
wider.
where one of the rivers is?
No. It's just sort of... If you guys look down it, it just shoots into the earth. It's getting later in the day, so it's actually kind of beautiful as you guys look out to the west. And you see, like, oh, wow, that's the ocean so far away from us. Like, hundreds of miles away, but, you know, you guys are going downhill. You're heading towards the ocean. This would be a lovely, like, tourist attraction if it wasn't, you know, really dangerous.
I
Gonna
think we
kill us.
hit one of the first defenses of Alcazan. My assumption is that they're isolated by its gorge.
True. Helga, do you go east or west? around this gorge? Because obviously you can't fly over it.
Yeah. I ask for opinions. So, what do you guys think we should do?
Can't go wrong with West.
You're right. I go west.
All right. West is life, Helga says to herself as you guys divot through another forest, but it is getting late in the day. Do you guys drive through the night, afraid to turn off your vehicle, or do you stop?
I think I should maybe not drive tired.
Hold on. Oh, wait, good question. Afraid to turn off the vehicle. We know. Okay.
I don't know enough about vehicles to even think that's a problem.
Helga, you know that if you turn this vehicle off, there is a chance it won't turn back on.
We figured it out before. I mean, how hard can it be to figure it out again?
Good question.
Paradigm?
I don't know.
question.
I don't know. I don't know.
I
Hear
haven't
them
stopped yet.
talking?
I'm thinking
Yeah, you
out
hear them
loud.
talking.
We should drive through the night.
Oh, okay.
I think
Paradigm just
think I've got the
face
hand-
in
oh,
hands, and just he is lamenting every aspect of his life and all his decisions.
Alright. Okay.
He
I'll
almost
drive
wish
through
he
the
had
night.
stayed with the doctor.
If you want, Elga, I'll take over after a couple hours. I'm just going to take a little nap.
I don't
No,
think you should take over. I don't think that's a good idea. I'm sorry.
But I've been watching you for hours.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, you
push-
should eat something before you go to sleep. You've lost a lot of blood.
Here, have a ration. A can of beans or something. The label fell off, but we can open it up.
I
And
really
can
wish I
stick
knew
my
the
knife
sleep
into it.
spell.
And open a can. I'm like, here, go, Carlene. Eat this can of some food. I'm sure it's human food.
You mean food made of humans or food for humans? I'm
It's
hungry
like a
anyway.
brick
I don't
of
know.
ravioli. It's just like,
It's a brick.
yeah, it's just like been mushed together. Ugh.
I'll eat it.
Yeah, give me a Constitution check.
Save?
No, not a save. You're not gonna be poisoned or anything. This is if you can just like eat it.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's actually the same as a save or not. So.
Okay. Yeah, you force it down, but it's like eating a salad with too much oil and like on it, you know,
Ugh.
like Italian oil or something, or it's just like
You know,
the artificial flavoring is intense.
Reminds me of my brother-in-law's mother's cooking. Was not good.
Oh,
What an
okay.
odd statement.
Yeah.
Corwin's becoming delirious as you guys drive through the night, several miles away. Who's driving this last stretch? If Helga is being afraid, even though she has the highest
Oh
chance
no,
to
I'm gonna
operate.
keep driving.
All right. Helga,
If
give
it's
me
an in check, she doesn't have the highest check for this.
Because I have a -2 and then a +2 for the proficiency, so it just cancels out.
Paradigm wonders if he should have driven, even in his living state.
Sounds like all of us could have gave that a shot. Can I cast Long Strider in her?
On the
Yeah,
Jeep.
totally. Do you want to?
Not really. I want to save it for Shield because I feel we're
Long
gonna
strider
have to-
on the car.
Well, I'll ask
Unfortunately,
if
you
anyone
must
else
target a
wants to
creature.
drive.
After that ration, I feel pretty good. I could
I
give it
think
a
you
try.
should rest,
No.
because you look like you're dying.
Yeah.
Helga,
much
give me
blood is
another
Coraline
fucking land
losing?
vehicles check. Let's be over with this.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Let's see.
Oh,
Yes.
During the night, you guys going 20, 30 miles an hour, going through shrubland, going through light forest. Somewhere in a peaceful forest, it's getting a bit deeper and darker and harder to see, and although you have dark vision, it's not nearly enough to drive at a safe pace with. And then
Are
The
there
thought
no-
about
are there no
stopping.
headlights?
The thought about stopping is made for you as your vehicle just hits a root, gets caught in several of its wheels. The right half of the vehicle begins to go up, almost threatening to flip you guys once more, but then just sort of stops. The engine stalls very hard. The gears lock up, and your vehicle can no longer function.
I'm gonna start making my next character now.
Rest. Rest, anybody?
Yeah,
We
let's
can
get
rest
out
here.
rest.
The paradigm, if you don't get experience, you can't remake your character at level 5.
Is this against TOS? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, what you do is you
Paradigm
do
is
this,
so
read
close.
between the lines.
There you go.
That's an old meme right there.
Jesus.
Fucking boomer JC over here. This 80s humor. Anyway, you are in a forest somewhere in the Jorgen River Valley. And it's
Let us
nighttime.
Just sleep. Sleep. We will not travel at night.
Yeah.
Alright.
All right. Have a good night. And Coraline just kind of passes out.
Yeah.
In the truck.
Let her.
All
Yeah,
right.
let her.
Seats
go.
are comfortable.
Let her go. Yeah. Who wants to take I suppose, tips for watch?
Hey, Coraline, can you roll me a 1d20?
Is this a death saving throw?
Might be. Okay.
I think I could try another medicine check if Corley's not feeling too
Coraline
well.
goes to sleep, guys. It's fine.
Is the seat red?
Huh?
Is the seat red?
Oh, yeah. Just like a human shape of just wet blood. Poorly bandaged.
I would like to try. I'm concerned.
No. She goes to bed. It's fine. You guys
Okay.
all have to do
Okay.
your watches, right?
Okay.
Paradigm
Yeah,
will
we
take
do.
first watch.
We do.
Okay.
Alright,
I'm
cool.
so concerned.
John will roll a random encounter table of his Jorgen River Valley Forest.
Oh no. I don't
We're
like
gonna-
the way you look at that.
We're gonna go on a little break, guys. We'll be
Oh,
right back.
no.
Oh
after.
God.
So for my next character,
Mics are hot. Hey guys, the party no, I guess we can go
Party
on the
dies this
cameras,
one.
but I'm not ready yet. So here we are. John has to look at things. So, in the night, Antoine.
No, I'm the one on watch.
Paradigm, do you have identify?
No! Antoine does.
Yeah, maybe he did it before he went to sleep.
No, maybe. I'm looking at my random encounters, guys. Alkazan, where is it? Where the fuck is my God
Oh, no.
folder?
Antoine's fucking
Oh, I'm in
rod is
random
just
writing
calling
shit.
them.
Where is it? Roll 20. Nope, that's Easy Store. It's on my desktop. God War folder. There we go. I'm just in the wrong folder looking for this shit.
Yes. Continue.
You guys like this music?
I do.
Yeah.
It's good party dying music.
This song is a spell that one of the players discovered. It costs a first level spell to play for him, but sometimes he plays it for the meme.
It reminds me of Final Fantasy VII.
Let's get rid of this as we go back to Forest Day.
Oh, day?
Well, I don't have Forest Night. Woodland Camp. There we go. You guys set camp for the night. The wind dies down. It's peaceful. Your wizards lay out. Someone puts a rolled up blanket underneath the head of Coraline, who has gone very still recently. See, is John playing into the meme or is Coraline dead? We'll find out next time.
Pay no attention to the 6 rolls of stats in the chat.
Why'd you do it? Wow, this is a shitty roll. Fuck.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Why'd you do
That was pretty
K3? Jesus. Alright.
What do you mean, why did he do it, John? We all know.
I'm just memeing. I'm not actually gonna fucking kill him. Maybe.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
Paradigm, what are you doing on
You
your
want-
watch?
I'm watching. I'm not doing anything extraneous, I'm just doing my one simple job.
Can everybody roll me a 1d20? Including Coraline, who is not actually dead. I was just memeing on for a little while. Who is our lucky winner? We got an
20,
8.
17.
Coraline doesn't another death save. It's a D20.
It's a
Yeah, can we
D20.
take death saves by choice?
Indeed. Well, fuck, it's gonna be Coraline then.
Oh, great.
What have you done to conquer the worm?
Coraline. Worms are stupid. But what have you done to conquer the one inside of you? Bleed? That's not much. Where are you?
Not very worm-like of you.
There you are. I found it.
Well, I've tried to go flying. That's anti-worm. But, you know,
are
Smitty's
Alkazar.
terrible maintenance on his airships made us crash.
I'm
No,
amazed you
blaming
didn't blame me.
others is just a way to deflect from the worm inside of you. No, it's not gonna be you. It's not gonna be you. You're like an undersea creature, right? Let's have a small flashback as Coraline remembers the good old days. When you were young, what were you doing, Coraline?
Coraline was mostly at home with her mother and her sisters. Her
living
dad was a
underwater?
merchant. Yep. Her dad was a merchant that traded with one of the islands nearby. And he used to love to play with the trinkets he'd bring back for her and her siblings.
What did those trinkets look like? Describe. What sort of trash did your father pick up out of like Mokapuni or where?
Oh, he often got like he mostly trade in tools and things that they would need below the waves, and he would trade like whatever local foodstuffs and resources the sea elves had. So he would bring back things that Coraline would have almost no idea what they would do, like certain, like a sextant, like what does somebody underwater know what a sextant is? And yet some people that would, like the merchants that would go on boats, would actually want them. That's why he would bring them back. But yeah, so they were normal tools, just in a different context.
I see. Well, Coraline, you get woken up, and although you're feeling woozy, you did not die. You just had a very weird fever. And during your dreams and dreaming about fucking worms, part of that dream twists and alters. And even though you're awake and you're staring at your little camp, the truck that's partially acting as a lean-to from the weather. It's early spring. It might even be raining right now. Hang on. Let me do a quick weather roll.
Please no.
February is not spring.
It is... No, fuck off. It is for Fantasyland, alright? Real world time means nothing here. You are having some, like, weird double vision going on, where you're looking at the forest, and the wind is hitting you from one direction, and it hits your face, and it doesn't feel like it, but you feel some, like, a different kind of air pressure hit you on the other side as well. And, you know, there's no wind over there. And you're, like, looking at this forest, and, what, you know, you see the tree that you've been looking at, but, like, 3 feet away from it, maybe 30 feet from that, there's, like, another kind of translucent-ish, ghostly tree. And it's all becoming a bit fucky for you, Coraline. What do you do as you're kind of in this weird phase, this weird sense of perception?
Is she feeling any sort of panic from this? Like, is this distressing, or...
You've never felt this way or had such a hallucinogenic-like experience before in your life?
But it's confusing, right? Like, don't really know what's going on?
Definitely. This is very strange.
Her first instinct would be to find her friend, Helga, and try to get to her.
Give me a perception check as you look for Helga. Oh, I'm so eagerly waiting.
Oh, you didn't get it? It's a 10.
I do not have it yet. My roll 20 is not keeping up, apparently.
Did it show up for anybody else?
It's because
It did.
I got it.
It did.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I fucked
Oh, you
up.
weren't scrolled down?
Yes, I was looking through the stream viewer. I may have minimized it on accident. You look for your friend, and you can't find her. And after a moment of blinking, of looking at things that you know are there but no longer are, it's no longer nighttime, Coraline. Your truck is gone. You're not even wearing your old clothes that you came in here on, bloodied and fucked with. You're wearing this, like, weird white toga thing.
Oh no.
Like a dress, almost.
Rodrigo.
Not Rodrigo. Worse than Rodrigo. You feel air. As John... Can we just go to a different map entirely? We could revisit this map, I suppose. Yeah, let's do that. Oop, wrong thing. Coraline, you awaken in a garden-like, god-rayish thing. There's a big, brilliant tree, a platform with this large topaz crystal, statues, things that people who watch the Monday game would immediately recognize, but is more or less the same. Instead of broken chairs and tables, which I'm currently showing the stream, these things are furnished, made. A well, rather than being broken, shoots out water in a brilliant show of artifice, I suppose.
You said the word.
Well, you know, architecture. There you go. These trees that surround you seem to be in a permanent state of autumn and of fall. And you see someone sitting next to this table, kind of lavishly laid out on a chase, looking at the brilliant god rays that shoot through the clouds. Above you, you can't even see the sun or the sky. It's just these pale white clouds that obscure the heavens, the stars in which you know.
Coraline's going to quickly reach for one of her knives.
You have no weapons. You are missing all of your stuff, all of your things.
Do her arms look like her own?
What do your arms look like normally as you remove part of your toga sleeve?
Well, they're kind of a pale blue, and her fingers are lightly webbed.
The webbing on your fingers is gone. What little fish scales that you probably had as well. I mean, you're a weird sea elf. You just have random bits of aquatic, what do you call it? Bodily structure. Why is this playing? I don't want you. I want you.
Vestige.
There we go. Your weird physical traits are gone. Instead, it is smooth skin that would never really help you move and meander through an underwater environment. However, that tinge of blue is still there. You see all this shining water in this garden as well. Would you like to look at your reflection?
Yes, please.
You can move to it. The person at your back just hanging out on that chase, this padded furniture. You look into the still waters that shine back to you, reminiscent of silver. Clear, so clear. You don't even truly see the dirt beneath this water in this garden that you're in. You see yourself. Have we ever rolled hotness for you, Coraline? Are you an attractive
No, I was
elf?
afraid to. I rolled good on Rembrandt, and the way I'm rolling today.
You want to do that real quick? You want to roll 3d6?
All right.
How does Coraline view herself? And this is going to be like kind of what that's based off of in a more superficial
Oh,
thing.
not bad.
Ooh.
Coraline,
She's a cutie.
are an underwater hottie who knows what she's got, but as any human person would do, there's always like something that you're like, okay, I don't really like this aspect about me. Everybody has its self-consciousness, but as you look at this reflection, all those blemishes are gone. Currently, people would say you are 18 out of 18 hotness right now. The peak of human attractiveness.
And like you said, the webbing's gone. I assume the gills are gone.
Yeah.
The pointed ears.
Pointed ears remain, and they are much longer than the short ones that you have on your head. They like stretch out and backwards beyond your shoulders, their length drooping down slightly.
A little bit confused. She's going to go cautiously towards the person that's on the couch, she said?
Yes, the couch. This chase. It's basically like a half couch meant for someone to like lean down, sit, or lay in, you know. Like part of it's propped up high and the rest kind of goes down low in a very comforting manner. There's a chair next to a table at which this chase is sort of centered next to. And this person is drinking from a cup, looking at you with... What are the color of your eyes? A vibrant blue,
Dark blue
and brown mesh.
Where is this? Who are you?
She looks at you. This person, who, as you stare closely at, is not actually a woman, but has extreme feminine traits upon them, as though they could be either or, if you care about that kind of stuff. This entity smiles at you and gestures elegantly to the chair before answering your question.
Coraline's gonna sit.
You sit
Still
down.
pretty confused.
You are confused. And this creature lets out a very sad sigh as you sit. What is your name? It asks you. How would you like to be addressed?
My name is Coraline. Coraline du Récif Rose.
I cannot pronounce that last bit, John says to you. Coraline of the waters. You have been marked by a lost child of my sibling. I'm sorry.
You mean the leeches?
Yes, Lychee Dan has marked you as one of his own. This creature frowns, and you just feel like a wave of empathy just slap you in the fucking face of just like how much this creature pities you in this one moment. It stings with how much you feel this connection.
Is that the worm? The worm you should conquer?
No. Lychee Dan's an ingrate. He believes himself so clever and so smart for binding himself to an eldritch abomination. Something that should never be spoken of in your words. Anyway, I'm sorry.
But what does it mean to be bound to this Lychee Dan?
He will come for you and eventually take your soul and make you one of his thralls. You will become, as he says, worm. Alternatively, you kill him and then you take his place, becoming what he is. It is a... How do we say this? A terrible gambit? I honestly don't know the phrase. A lose-lose situation.
I have no problem killing, but it sounds like neither is terribly interesting. Is there no third way?
There is. And the creature's bluish, brownish, mishmash eye color briefly sheens with a gold filament. Coraline, you can return. How? The world that you know it is not how it is. And it is only through this connection that has been weakening and waning over the years as this new age dawns upon your world that I may contact you. You, my lost descendants. I can erase this bond by overpowering it with my own, if you would prefer. Otherwise, you must struggle against your fate and overpower, as the worm says, it.
Oh, who are you? How do I know you're telling the truth?
She smiles. He smiles. It smiles. This strange creature with an ambiguous personality and not even like characteristics. Just looking at this thing for a while, you get the sensation that what you're looking at is more of a reflection of yourself in this moment or what you want it to be. And they smile at you very sadly, and that wave of empathy strikes you again. And the thought that this creature would lie is like almost unbelievable to you in this moment, Coraline.
Pretty impressive, because she thinks everybody lies.
True.
But what's the difference between bonded to you or bonded to this Dan? I do not feel a bond with him.
What you feel in the moment is not what is, unfortunately. The way in which we creatures that... And it sort of trails off for a moment. The way we perceive things is very different. And although you feel nothing now, the changes of what is occurring, and this creature will reach out a hand but not touch you or anything and like gesture towards your heart. What is changing in there will soon mirror your exterior. Pain will be the last thing you feel, and by then it will be too late. It is lucky that you found a... And it gives out a small scoff, and then just sort of trails off. It is lucky that I found you.
Well, I must say, the outside in this dream is much nicer than what happened to that leech man. You're not the first one to mention this. The tree person. Do you know the tree person?
I do not, for there are many.
If I go with you, what do I need to do?
You must just accept me.
I do not even know who you are. What you are.
That is because to accept me, to know me, are the exact same things. I cannot share who I am without you binding yourself to me in some way. And it is only through that action will we know one another. Words mean so very little. Creatures lie. But once we are together, there will only be truth.
And what after? What do I do then? Do I
You
keep
will
going?
live as you want. And eventually, not soon, but I will have need of you. The creatures that have broken the pact have started this world into a new age, and I must return and stop them from destroying what we all love so very dearly.
What of my friend Helga? Is she also like this?
I do not know.
The horse is probably cursed, no doubt.
What's a horse?
Never mind.
Is that like a goat? I know what a goat is.
Yeah. Yes, but much more. Talking of the mouth.
I'm sorry. That sounds horrifying. The goats I know only scream.
It might be an improvement, but regardless, what would this binding involve?
All you must do is hold out your hands to me.
All right. She kind of holds out her hands.
The creature will bring its hands together very briefly, and as you see that happen, it doesn't make like a clapping noise, but in the distance, you hear thunder break. You hear the crashing of waves against a beach. You hear the splitting of earth. And then you hear the silence. And all for a moment as the creature brings its hands towards your own, stopping just a brief moment, or just a very small distance away from truly grasping onto you. When I do this, it will be permanent. Are you sure?
Well, if my choices are this or the bleach, yes, I'm sure.
You feel your hands be touched, and you say something one last time. Let's hear it.
Can this help me fly?
The creature smiles at you, and as it touches your hands, what is the greatest thing that Coraline has ever wanted?
Oh my god.
It ever since she started seeing the airships flying around, she's wanted to do that. She's wanted to fly around the sky.
You wish to fly, Coraline. And as this garden begins to disappear, the leaves, the roses, the water itself just dissolving, going full, just disappearing out of nowhere. Your eyes go wide as you look around. The big tree, the big topaz crystal, they're gone, and all that's left is the sky. These clouds that show no blueness that surround you, these god rays striking through the clouds, illuminating where you are. You hear the skies no longer causing thunder. You hear the waves no longer crashing. You hear the earth begin to patch itself together. And this creature opens its eyes one more time, and it whispers to you, "Then fly, Coraline." And it lets go of you. And you will awaken in the morning, having a dream of flying through the skies limitlessly, all for the night, as though for hours of just flying. 1, 2, 3, Paradigm, Antoine, Helga. This is a D10. I need a D6. There we go. Antoine will be the last person on watch to awaken you, Coraline, and interrupt this stream. You guys will awaken. Guys, holy shit, Coraline is fucking hot. She's like 18 out of 18 hotness right now. Holy fuck. Her fins, her flippers are gone. Her weird fish scales that were just sort of growing out of her skin vanished. And there's just this vibrant blueness about her skin.
I had the most wonderful dream. I was flying everywhere.
Were you
Damn.
were you
I didn't even
crashing
need-
this?
No, I didn't even need a ship. None of that. Cursed Smitty's poor maintenance. No, I could do it myself. It was wonderful.
Coraline, look
Yeah,
at
dreams are
the
nice.
rear view. Look at the mirror in the truck. You look really good. Like, you looked good before, but you look really hot.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
she's so fucking hot. It's not like Rodrigo hot,
said-
but still, like.
You said I looked terrible. You said I looked like the droppings after the horse passes.
Oh yeah, but that was when you were bleeding and dying. You look good now.
Oh, well, thank you, Elga. You're not so bad yourself.
Helga, is your simulation breaking?
Thank you.
I'm hearing very robotic.
I heard it
The
too.
simulation of Helga is breaking down.
It seems to have stabilized on my end.
Yeah.
So yeah, Coraline looks into the mirror, tries to fix her hair a little bit.
Yeah,
Cut.
it's silky
Sees
smooth.
the difference. It looks at her hands.
The webbing is gone. You
It's
have
like my
clear
dream.
fingers.
I dreamed that I was somewhere where I didn't have my gills, my webbings, my scales.
Oh yeah,
and
your
they're
gills are
gone.
gone too. You no longer have a. You can't breathe underwater. I'm so
Didn't help me much before anyway.
Sorry.
But
You're
now
the
we're going on
land
a boat,
party.
right?
Yeah. That's fine.
Land party.
Underwater mission time.
I don't understand. I thought it was just a dream. The woman, she says, touch my hands. I touch her hands because, a dream is where you do the weird stuff, the stupid stuff. But she talked about the worm. See,
Did you do it? Did you do it?
Did you conquer it?
You
What-
conquer
tell
the
us.
worm, Coraline?
no, nothing
Very
like that.
curious.
No. I mean, she was very pretty. I think she was a she. Very pretty, but no, nothing like that. We just touched hands. And she says, the person the tree mentioned, Dan, the screaming Dan, she said he was Lychee Dan. He had cursed me somehow, and she was going to help. And I would have to help her back, but I didn't know it was real.
It sounds like you conquered the worm.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Or at least it doesn't matter anymore if you did or not.
Well, I didn't feel a worm before. I don't feel a worm now.
Do you
It
feel
is-
any different?
Do I feel any different?
You're full up. It is as though you had a long rest. So
Lucky
yes.
bastard.
Man.
All of your
Yeah,
wounds,
really
all
lucky.
those leech bite marks are gone. You no longer have gills. Your ears are slightly longer, but not too different from the original one. They're not the same as the dream.
Okay.
Was there any other bonuses you got for being a sea elf that is different from a regular elf?
The weapon proficiencies are different, but that's irrelevant with my barbarian level.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Um,
I'm looking for like features, not like proficiencies. Or anything.
talking to any beast with an innate swimming speed.
Can't talk to fish.
I can
Wow.
No longer
I can
Aquaman.
sort of talk to fish.
You
The
might
swimming
as well
speed,
go
the
ahead
breathing
and
water.
remove that because I would have never let that go down anyway.
Is he just a base elf now?
Okay.
He is
how do I
just
get
a base
rid of
elf
that?
now.
Okay.
You still have
try
dark
to
vision.
see. That was it. It's just those two things.
All right. Coraline, you look up at the sky. It is early morning. You guys have awoken from a somewhat restless night, and you fell asleep on watch, potentially endangering your entire party. But nothing came at you during the night.
Is the canyon still there?
I think you guys left the end of it.
Yeah.
Didn't we get trapped in some roots past it?
Yes.
Yeah, we passed it.
Oh, okay.
John looks at.
Please
his
don't try to
region map.
fly.
This is Zorzor.
No, it's because in the dream I heard John mentioned like the earth was stitching itself up. I thought maybe that was the canyon, like in real life,
Oh.
closing.
No, he said it was breaking apart. Is that
Coraline.
like the way you described it was like natural disasters?
Coraline, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
You look up at the sky. There are clouds, but it is not so heavy as they were earlier. There are no more god rays that shine through, illuminating your world. You even see the sun far off, distant. Birds call out. They make their, cries, their advertisements to potential mates. And Coraline, you are drawn to the sky as you continue to stare up at it. And all of you, everyone in the party, gets to watch as Coraline begins to hover. She is no longer on the ground as she continues to look up. She's maybe 3 inches off the ground right now.
Holy
I feel
shit.
lighter somehow.
Well, you're levitating.
What?
As you look down, you immediately whoosh, fall to the ground.
No, I was just on tippy toes.
I don't think so.
You were
Look,
full
see?
on,
I go
like,
on tippy toes. It's just
No,
tippy
not the
toes.
same thing.
Try looking up again.
This was
Okay.
not
Go
on
look
point.
toward the sky. Try thinking about it.
Coraline looks up to the sky and feels just
You
the
feel a
wonder that
pull.
she had in the dream.
A tugging in your heart begins to, as though you are a puppet on a string, pull you up. You are now 6 inches off the ground. You are definitely not on your tippy toes or on the tips of your heel.
Think about being higher.
Oh my god, I'm flying! And she falls.
Yep, you look to the earth and you begin to fall.
I think, try not to think about it too much. Don't look to the ground. Look to the sky.
Look
Guys,
at the sky.
Coraline, a barbarian, is beginning to fly without, just on her sheer will, and you guys are just like, yeah, keep doing it, fuck it. We don't have to worry about this at
Yeah.
all, this is fine.
I mean,
Pretty cool.
the gods are dead in our eyes.
True.
I don't understand how this could happen. It's almost like the dream where I could fly.
Who was this woman?
She never said. She says she was the last child of sibling. Her brother's kid is Lychee Dan. Sisters? Sibling? Sibling's kid is Lychee Dan. But if she has this kind of power, she must be. I don't know.
Man, I want to fly. That sounds
This-
cool.
This sounds like something that's been dead and gone for a long time.
Hey, Elga, take my hand. Let's see if you can do it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll take her hand.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
I will try to go.
What is your carrying capacity? What is your strength?
My strength is 13.
13
Peter Pan,
times
Gwendolyn type
5.
It should say carrying capacity in your sheet, right?
Does it?
Helga, how heavy are you? You big orcish woman.
Yeah, probably pretty heavy. I think I'm like 6 feet tall. I'm 6'1". I never figured out the weight, but probably pretty heavy.
What's your
Helga's
con
a
and your
she's
strength?
oh wait, she's pretty weak.
You may
My
just be like a
constitution
beanpole.
my constitution is 13 and my strength is 9.
Okay, so you're probably actually you're tall, but you are very skinny and lanky.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You're probably in like 130 to 160 territory.
Sure.
You know. So I guess you can decide that or roll like the difference if you want. Coraline, what? 13 times 15 is your maximum carrying capacity. So, you...
195 pounds.
I went with 145.
Yeah.
So if that does anything.
How heavy did you go? 140?
145.
Unfortunately, no. You may do so. Yes, okay. Wow, John is really bad at math. You are heavily encumbered, Coraline, but as you grab Helga's hand, you're not really transitioning your flying ability. You're just, like, pulling up on her. So, Helga, you're like, all your weight's on your wrist now. As Coraline begins to pull you up with her. But, I mean, in theory, you can fly Helga. Just extremely slowly.
Yeah.
It's not very high.
I'm like, oh.
Good lord.
I think I need more practice.
Maybe.
We need to get you into some weight training.
All right. Coraline, you should definitely practice this, but I don't know if this is the environment you want to practice this in. You're out in the middle of the woods, somewhere outside of territory, and that truck ain't going anywhere, fellas. You're gonna have to walk it, hoof it to Alcazan, or find an alternative means of travel.
We're in danger here. We should go. I can practice this once we're safe.
Yeah, that's
Shall
a
we
good idea.
eat
Yeah.
breakfast first? Shall we
Once
eat
we're in
breakfast
Tulst.
first?
Sure.
We have a lot of rations on this car or this truck of some sort.
Should probably pack
You know,
some
we
for
can
the
haul
road
with
as
us.
well.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Paradigm
You
says
look
as
at the
he's only
cans.
carrying 40 pounds.
Shake the can.
Alright, you guys can eat some of these metal things. How many backpacks do you guys have in total? Like, how many rations can you
We
carry?
lost most of our backpacks.
Yeah, I know.
It's yeah, it's not looking good. I have mine, but
I
think
have
I
one.
still have mine.
But mine's full of the stuff from the sarcophagus.
Oh, we should figure that out.
yeah, I do identify on the stuff.
Alright, so while they eat, you do... Obviously, Antoine, you weren't giving a fuck. You were just eating while Coraline was fucking with her flying.
Well, we'd be down to, if I recall, we had 7 when we found the 30, and we would have eaten 4 yesterday and another 4 today, so we should be at 29.
Okay, that works. Can you guys carry 29 times 2 worth of pounds of
No.
rations?
No.
Well, can we just carry the cans like this,
58?
and then if
Yeah.
something happens, we just drop them on the ground?
Yeah, do we have an Aldi shopping cart nearby?
Unfortunately, you do not.
I think I can
I'm
carry
guessing.
4 of them.
I mean, I've got the
guessing
carrying
we eat
capacity.
the cans before we eat the rations. This is my assumption.
Yeah, we'd eat the crappy food first.
Yeah.
You eat your shitty food. Antoine, you can spend basically an hour identifying this stuff. There are 4 magical items that were found.
Yes. Oh, I also would have given Antoine the religious symbols.
Okay. Well, those are not magical. Those are just like tokens of endearment. Artifacts.
And I definitely would have given Paradigm the therapist,
The necklace.
Parapet?
the necklace. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So
You can give him the parapet, no big deal.
Slip on.
awesome.
John looks at what these things are. What do you start with? There is a cloak, the armor, the flail, and the circlet.
Start with the armor.
The armor. The armor is magical studded leather armor, so it's a light armor that you can wear. It is a full suit, so this isn't like just a torso piece. It is shin guards all the way up to shoulder pads. And it's rather nice looking. It is this black material that is silk on the interior, but hardened leather on the outside. That is it acts kind of like a carapace when you like hit it. It like hardens on hit. So tough, durable, but very loose, and the threading of it is a silver threading, reminiscent of Ozark's robe. If you guys paid attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I thought about
We remember
stealing.
him.
True.
We remember Ozark.
Everybody remembers Ozark. Not Maury though. Who's that guy?
Yeah. Who's that? Yeah.
So this armor is +1. So +1 armor, and it has a magical effect attached to it.
Oh.
As a bonus action. So it is a charged system, so it has 3 charges that you can use a day. It regenerates on every full moon. So if you use it on the night a new moon is occurring, it won't do anything. So only do this, or don't use it
Once a month?
on the 30th. No, the full moon is every night.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
moon
I
is
forgot about
always
that.
full except one night of every month, which is like the transition of the new month, right? So
Interesting.
3 charges, recharges on the full moon, and as a bonus action, you basically teleport behind someone within 30 feet of you.
Oh, that
Yeah.
might be better
That
for
is so
Coraline
nice.
than
Yeah,
Helga.
maybe.
This is basically a misty step, but you cannot
Assassin.
go anywhere with it. You have to target somebody's back.
I have a bonus action move 30 feet anyway.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you could bonus action
Whereas-
backstab.
Helga could bonus action.
Yeah.
And
Helga
and the
bonus
armor
action.
doesn't
doesn't-
What?
She gets closer
This is
so that she can
particularly
hellish
backstab.
rebuke when
This
they
is-
stab her.
bonus action.
It's the only reason she gets in range. Hit me!
Uh,
Oh,
This is
Hellish Rebuke,
excellent
you
backstab.
can do it to someone that's not in range. I read
Oh, I
the
thought it was
thing.
a reaction. That
It
you
is
did
a
with
reaction,
melee.
but you can look at someone and it just happens to the person you're looking at. Like, they don't have to. If they hit me with an arrow, I can look at them and they'll do it. And
Fire.
it'll happen.
No, I was thinking more of if somebody goes down, you could bonus action to teleport to them, or something like that.
it
She
does
could.
not designate an enemy creature. It is just a creature's back. So you could do this to your allies as well.
Get a medicine proficiency.
So it might be better for you to be able to move around more.
Alternatively, you guys don't need to have this item. Remember that if you go to Tulst, you can give it away and they'll try to get you something in exchange for it.
Yes, but in the meantime, we're in very dangerous forests, and
Yeah.
we should use it.
Yeah.
we
Uh,
also have not gotten anything from anyone else.
True.
Healing Light has a range of 60 feet, so I don't know how much I need that for like healing people.
Well,
but
if someone's
maybe.
120 feet away.
But Elga, if we're running away, this could let you keep up with me.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's see what the other things are, and maybe I'll take this.
We should do the cloak next.
You wish to do the cloak?
Cloak time.
It's not often we find cloaks.
You find the cloak. This cloak is of a purple hue on the interior. Somewhat royal, somewhat faded. The black back, this strange creature seems to be color-coded as some weird shadowy fighter, is a mottled mess and swatches of different colors of black. It is... I think it just gives you advantage on stealth checks in dim light.
Coraline.
I did not write that it gave a magical protection. And I'm looking what this item's based off of. So... yeah, it gives you advantage on stealth checks in dim light. Dim or dark.
Only. Okay.
So if you're in total darkness, it'll still give you advantage, but it does not work in brightly lit areas.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, flail time.
Hang on one second.
Yeah,
I need to write this
flail.
down myself because, you know, John's an idiot and wants to keep, like, a paper check on hand, not just go through all of his Word documents at all times.
Well, once we have the items, it's pertinent.
True. Advantage on stealth. In dim through dark.
Guys, I'm kind of most excited about this flail than anything else.
Alright, the flail. That's what we're doing next?
Yep.
Alright.
Only if you touch the rod.
Can you link
Otherwise, we're doing the circlet.
Question. Could you hold on for this? For just one
Yeah, I'll
second?
hold his rod while he's doing this.
Yeah, I'll hold your rod. Can you hit identify, please? This iron flail, I know it is made out of iron, is not the most decorative, but has seen a lot of use. It has an aura around it, even, that people can somewhat detect. You choose one.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
I'm looking if it tells you what its name is. The item was created by a spell. You learn which spell created it. If you instead touch a creature, no.
I don't think it says names.
It does not.
It says
tell
you learn how to use it, which would include
It'd just tell you-
passwords.
There'd be
Yeah.
like effects and everything, but it wouldn't tell you the name of it.
Understood. This weapon, Anchois, as soon as you, like, identify it, you immediately drop it. Kind of in fear, for your own safety. This is a wizard-killing item. Not only is it a +1 flail, but against specifically wizards, all attacks are at advantage. The chain itself...
I want it.
That's a Corley item.
The chain,
What?
I want. You got an item.
instead of a melee attack that you can do, you can instead activate its command word. The chain will extend, and if you hit their AC, it will wrap around their neck and stop them from casting any verbal somatic spells. Or not verbal component spells, not somatic. They can still do somatic, but, you know, everything's a fucking verbal component anyway.
Yeah.
Other than
Except
that,
counterspell.
well,
Paradigm
Counterspell
will
is just a
slyly
gesture.
pick it up off the ground
This is as
after
good as a
Temer drops it.
counterspell. This is as good as a counterspell.
Paradigm, this weapon instinctively hates you.
I don't care if it hates me. I love it.
You love it. +1
Everything
flail.
that's ever hated me, I've loved.
Got it. Its range is 10 feet, so... You know, it has reach, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
Vicious evil thing.
Making sure that I know what a flail is. It is a 1d8 weapon, right? It's not a 1d4.
Give me a second.
Because this may be
It
a 2d4
is
weapon.
a 1d8.
Pretty sure it's a martial weapon.
Yeah, so it's going to be 1d8.
Is that going to be a problem, Paradigm?
Yeah. Entirely.
Yeah, it's a problem.
I'm not
Yeah.
actually. I want it so bad, but I can't use it. You can have it.
I'm more of a knife person.
It shuts wizards up by putting chains around their
This
throats.
is a very good one.
It
This is
crushes their
like-
windpipes by you saying a word.
Just
like,
wizards.
Wizards are
Only
terrible.
wizards.
Would you like to
Wizards
try
are
it,
terrible.
Coraline, as you grasp it and have two wizards before you? Coraline, there's
We
two.
need-
Oh, their necks! They just want to be choked. They're within 5 feet of you. Do it! Do it,
Yeah, I
Coraline!
offered Coraline.
She whispers to Angela, "What's the activation word?"
It will
I
just
believe it was
automatically go.
cupcake.
Let's do it. Fuck it.
Cake. Let's see. On a 1, it's Angela. On a 2, it's Paradigm.
Paradigm.
Oh,
What if
sorry,
it's just
Angela.
worse?
Good.
The horse
please-
gets away again.
roll me 1d20 plus your strength, plus your proficiency, plus 1.
Jesus.
At advantage. So do that twice to see if you hit Antoine's AC.
Okay, let's see.
You could just-
Can I shield?
2.
You guys
3,
have
so
taken
+4.
a short rest, so if you guys want to do your arcane recovery.
I mean, we've already used all of them for a long rest at this point,
A
right?
17 will hit Antoine.
Yeah, it doesn't doesn't really matter. That'll hit me no matter what.
Yep, mage armor's not going on you right now, unfortunately. Your chain, instead of doing damage, wraps around his neck, stopping Antoine from speaking. He can struggle all he wants trying to remove it. He cannot remove this.
Antoine, how do I make it let go?
illusion. I do minor illusion as a box.
Does minor illusion have a verbal? Oh, it doesn't. He just box. Coraline, you can.
How do I
pull
make it
him.
let go?
Coraline, I think you could just tell it to stop or pull on it and it'll stop.
Mr. Flail, please let go.
When you make the nugget, Antoine just. He's basically on a leash right now.
Oh no.
I look for a button or something to make the chain retract.
What did you say to turn it off?
Oh, you want it to retract. So, Antoine, you are pulled 5 feet closer to Coraline. Right in perfect gutting range. If you were a 2-weapon wielder, you would just be able to stab Antoine to death right now.
Antoine, Mr. Box. I kind of knock on the box and go right through and go like.
Box wouldn't have moved, he would have.
Yeah, he's
All right.
pulled out of his box. just
How do I make you let go? Cupcake? Cake cup?
Antoine, use your minor illusion to just make the word on the ground.
Can I do that?
A sound? Can he just like make the sound of it out loud, the word?
Yes, he can. And although the
Okay.
flail does not respond to the minor illusion making the sound, Coraline, you can pull the chain off from his neck.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
It doesn't have a word to release. You
God,
literally just have to
Coraline,
unwrap it.
Coraline, why? 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 Use it on
Sorry.
enemies.
I had to try
Yeah,
it.
that's okay.
Look
I
how it
know.
works.
I know.
Alden.
I know.
That's every time.
I understand, Coraline.
That.
You did the wrong thing there, boss.
Oh, yeah.
To the. What is it? Keep.
Like, what's your you
One.
have 13 strength, so that's +1 from your weapon, so you're hitting at +4. So 1d20 +4 against Paradigm's non-mage armor AC.
So 20.
Yeah, 20 will do it. Paradigm, a chain wraps around your neck. You try to.
I just stand.
Yeah. You stand
I don't
up.
react.
See, Antoine, it works very good.
Yeah, I knew it worked. Don't worry.
Paradigm, do you want to try to get it off you? You actually have enough strength to go against it if you want.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, so
Yes.
you have +18 strength, right?
I have 19 strength.
Then yeah, you can potentially
Wow.
break this chain off your neck.
I'm amazed.
You
Christ.
do not, unfortunately. The DC is 14.
Are you fucking...
I'll take the chain off.
Okay, cool.
Thank you,
That's
Coraline.
interesting.
This is so great. This is literally the best.
That
thing to
is
save
an
our
amazing weapon.
people.
It is
Like our
a
party.
yes. This flail is designated and designed to fuck up wizards, which
Yeah, you
Coraline-
brings a
That's
so
very
good.
big question of who the fuck was this person who was honored in a grave with like a
Well, we
loving
still haven't looked
thing.
at the circlet.
Yeah,
Do
what's the
not.
circlet?
Ah,
What's the
Aircraft.
reaction once we get back to Toast with this thing?
They very well
Wow.
may have been a mage hunter. Or straightforward an assassin. By the look of that
Fair.
cloak and that armor, along with this, and whatever Antoine tells us about that circlet, this person may have been a royal assassin.
I'm curious on who the person who buried this person said it was their enemy. I mean, that is curious itself. I want to meet this. I'm hoping a wizard
Well.
mage of some sort. Fascinating.
Who knows? Maybe Ozark themselves buried this person. He smirks and laughs.
I assume you
And
identify
then-
the circlet?
Yeah, and then the circle.
You identify the circlet. And John has to roll to see what kind of circlet this is. Because there are many circlets which are good against fighting wizards.
Just wizards.
Yes. Just wizards. And this may be the thing that destroys Igor, because this could be a circlet of intelligence. Because one of the biggest things that a wizard can do against another person is force them to make an intelligence saving throw. So if you have an item that gives you an intelligence bonus, this is a very good defensive item. But also it could be a circlet of detect thoughts, which is good for interrogating someone who can't speak, which is...
God, I need that as the group interrogator.
This could also be
Group
a circlet
interrogator.
of magic protection, which is a John item, not a real item.
I really hope it's intelligence, because... Antoine, what's your intelligence?
Lower than yours. 18.
Alright.
That would boost mine above 20.
Antoine, can you please roll me a 1d100? Let us see what this is.
We should have put that on our driver yesterday.
If we knew what it was yesterday.
A 77. That is the upper 25%. I believe that makes this a... This is unfortunately not going to be a circlet of intelligence. You cannot solve
Damn.
my E-core problem, unfortunately.
I just want to see him realize his god is false.
It's not even that. He needs to realize he's an evil creature. That's what I need him to realize, in character and out of character. He is...
How do I do that with intelligence?
Has he assassinated
Suggestion.
anybody?
Oh my god.
True. The circlet, Antoine, is one of magic resistance. It gives you a +1 to saving throws that are intelligence, wisdom, or charisma.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think that's good for
It's really
anybody,
lame.
really.
That's good for anyone.
I mean,
Rumble
it's
Roar
not
says
a-
lame, and I agree with him. It's not the best of my magical items.
You said upper 25 or
Yep.
upper like 25 percentile. I thought it was going to be god tier.
No, it's not.
I mean, that's what I thought too.
If you had rolled him
That's
top
good for
10%,
anybody.
it would have been a combination of the two.
Hmm.
Or 3, technically. But, yeah.
Well,
It's just a +1 to int, wisdom, and charisma checks. Or saves, excuse me, not checks.
I think that'd be better for either me or
It
yeah,
is-
Antoine.
It is also non-attunement. Anyone can immediately put this on in there.
I
The
think
other
it'd be
things were all attunements.
No, none of them. The armor is. The armor is attunement. The flail is not. And the cloak is not. Only the armor.
only reason I say that Antoine I should get it is because usually if you're a frontline fighter, it's Dex or Con or Strength that you need to save for, and when you're further away from the fight, it's the other three.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I don't
can
have a
take
problem
it.
with that.
I'm taking the armor.
Okay.
So I don't care who gets it between the two of us.
Well, Pelga, you'll need to wear it all day today, and when the full moon comes, you will be attuned to it.
Cool.
Cool. Who's getting the cloak?
That was Coraline. She's getting the cloak and the
Oh.
flail.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I'm loaded with magic.
Oh, please take care of some of those damn wizards for us.
Yeah, this has been
They are
Coraline's
scary.
session.
They are scary people.
Yeah,
They are
She's
scary
got
people.
God on her. She's got the power of God and not anime on her side.
You guys still need to get yourselves a fucking box set of Castle Power. Then you'll
Yeah.
really get the anime.
We had
bonus.
it. We
You
had
see,
it.
you see
Yeah, it
Coraline
got
put on the
incinerated.
cloak,
Yeah.
and Helga, you kind of hear her whisper, "Can you make it yellow?" As she looks up into the sky to match her last
The
cloak,
wish.
hoping her friend will come through again.
Nothing happens. The cloak
Your
is
All
pleas
right.
fall on God's
Pure.
deaf ears.
this black swathed cloak.
I mean, You can have the circlet of 1 intelligence save, or +1 intelligence save. So
Okay.
I don't
John,
mind.
in actual D&D, is that called a thing?
No, this is a John item. It's not the
Okay.
best John
Add
item,
that.
but you know, it's a John.
Oh yeah, is this armor a thing or did you make it up?
This is also, most of these are John items.
Okay.
The cloak is based off of a different one, but I think that one just gives you advantage no matter what, and I don't like.
Yeah, Cloak of Elvenkind.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
not. It is not that. This is designed as like an assassin-y thing. It's not just, oh, I get stealth forever. Ha 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 ha. Fuck off, John. There is a. It's you get it mostly forever, but if you fuck around with lighting, then I want you to feel the consequence of not being an assassin. 'Cause this
Fuck
is
around
an
and find out.
assassin, a mage hunter's item, or part of their
All
set.
I'm saying is, guys, we should grave rob more.
I agree.
Yeah. Definitely.
Not this. This
This
seems
group
to be
seems
our
better than
proper
talking.
calling.
Well, if you guys want to be treasure hunters for a little while and then fuck around with politics later, I'm okay with that. But the
Do you
day
think-
is yours. It is the 24th of spring swirling. Spring is beginning to ascend. What the fuck did I just hit? Groove
Do you
music.
think all the
No!
other? Do you think
Yeah.
all the other
Groovy.
tombs will be empty too?
We
Wouldn't
go
that
to a
be nice?
disco. Well, guys,
Still have
as
several.
much as it pains me to say it, I think we should continue our way to Alcazan
Yeah.
on foot.
John checks where you guys are on his region map. Okay.
That's when we're following the rivers still.
You
Are we even
don't
close to Alcazan?
You're nowhere even close to a river. You're
Uh,
just going
southwest.
southwest.
We're
Yeah.
completely inland.
Yeah, you are. This is a huge river valley, guys.
Yeah.
If you're in the middle of it somewhere, like over here somewhere, like what the fuck are you guys gonna do?
Sorry. I don't know what miles are. There's MI. What the hell does that mean?
Several hundred kilometers.
Use a real.
Hey, he's using the
Good
measurements
distance.
that Roll20 gave him.
Not only Roll20, but Wizards of the Coast gave me, who measure
Ooh.
everything in miles. You fucking cultural appropriating metric system scumbag. You guys start heading southwest, meaning John needs to put on the travel music rather than the level up discovery music. Travel zombies. Zombies.
And we really need to not do politics more often. Look at all the cool shit we get when we don't.
Really? Wow.
We'll do salsa
We
music
have-
while John rolls his bullshit. Because you're heading to Rodrigo, right? Your best friend.
Oh,
Total
Rodrigo.
plus team.
I've never
Too
met
bad-
Rodrigo.
Team.
How
What
is
the fuck am I? What are these dice? These are loaded!
Did you guys hear that? It sounded like the sky yelled at us.
Okay,
That
so.
might be my new friend.
Alright, team.
Are we dead?
No, you're the opposite of dead. So.
Grab Helga and fuck
Oh,
away.
I like this. I
Fucking
like this.
shit. Okay, so John needs to explain how his
Another
stupid
fish
random encounter
obelisk.
tables are. He rolls a
Rome
D100.
saves us.
Odds are bad for you guys. That means like random encounter, hostiles. You know, I roll for, or I have you guys roll for intensity. Monsters come at you to fuck you guys up. I've rolled a 98. So if something good happens, you find the fucking obelisk made out of weird silver or whatever. the
Space
fuck.
fish.
Then
Space
I
fish.
roll a 100 for Coraline.
So that's why she met God.
Yeah, so now I've rolled a 96.
Ooh, who gets to meet God now?
For
I wanna
your
meet
party,
God.
I have rolled only top 10. Like,
The horse god. You
He's
meet the
past
horse god. It's like
fucking Alden
horse
leaves once,
armor.
and suddenly
I
my
believe in
dice
religion.
reset.
To be
No,
fair, we
here's
crashed
the
our
thing,
first ship.
Rumble Roar. Yeah, they're gonna find something else that's super fucking magical and dope here.
yeah.
I'm not. Hang on, I don't even know how much shit's left in fucking.
Man, and we're
Alakazam.
probably not gonna share.
John looks at his fucking chart, his regional map, the treasures. He's running out, guys. We had the grave, which was kind of a thing, the fortress. We had
There's
the
a
fucking
sarcophagus
fish
fall out of the
totem. I
Give
only
us
had
more
a
of that
couple
Mage
of
Hunter
things
set.
prepped. I'm gonna have to go to a different region and steal something. Thorazor. Where are you?
Take something from the lore team. They've had way too good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Give me
Yeah,
something from
Yeah.
Devlators.
And they deserved losing it for killing children in that one time.
You mean that
Calm-
war?
Calm down there, Buckaroo. Like you wouldn't. John, look.
I
You
never
gave
got the
Cor-
chance. I mean, never had to.
John, you're the one who told me about the orphanage and the torch thing.
Yeah,
Imagine giving Coraline the torch.
Yeah, I can't fucking. win.
Coraline's a sweetheart. What are you talking about?
I need to look up my old treasure tables. Oh my god, New World.
Hoping for a really good circlet this time.
True
Really
milk.
good circlet.
Well, you got a pretty good. But what does your rod do? Is it the blasting and
Oh,
other stuff?
yeah.
The Wand of Lightning
Well,
Bolt.
Yeah, it's a 3d8 for each spell level that I put into
Damn
it.
it.
Like,
But it also gives you bonuses to
Theoretically-
your DCs, right?
You
you're
guys.
Did
right, maybe. Was that the rod? Was that the rod that did that?
Well, it's the only thing we found there.
I think it's based off
No,
of
I
this
think it might
right
have been
here.
that-
Rodrigo's like pure essence is just like oozing
Good
out.
question.
Oh my
No, it's a
God.
Good question. I'll look this up.
It is not a wand of lightning bolt.
No, I said it seems like it's based off that.
It is not. It is its own thing.
Oh.
It's a John item based off the Power Rangers.
Can we have a Megazord? Can we
that
have a
would
gu-
be
Can we have a
excellent.
Gundam?
We would destroy.
Yo, John
Can
is a
we
fan
be-
of Gundam. He probably would put a mecha in somewhere, right, guys?
Can we be the Gundam?
Gundam
We all just-
Sagittarius. Oh man.
We all just put our hands in together with our powers combined.
John's gonna roll another dice to see how.
He's
good-
re-rolling, guys.
No, I'm not gonna re-roll. Well, it's still a 96 on my fucking encounter table.
All right, guys, from the other teams. Next game, he'll roll like a one, and we'll be just TPK'd, and all our cool stuff will be on
Yeah.
the ground for you to pick up.
Yeah,
True.
if you can find it in the random valley.
While walking through the unexplored forest, where ruins of long dead civilizations lurk, the only safe place in the Jorgen River Valley being on the coast near Alcazan, where something scary keeps all the truly terrifying creatures away. You all find something special, something nice. You find a house out in the middle of the woods that has a sign on it, written in Modern Common. Something Comprehend Languages does not need any of you to translate. What it says is, hang on, what this says?
What is that noise?
This is
Oh, it's my cat scratching the table. Sorry.
I thought it was the popcorn maker.
No, it's my cat.
this storefront, for lack of a better words. It is somewhat reminiscent of like a old western like shop. There's like pane glass windows, but like it's that dull glass. It's kind of opaque, so you can't just see into it. There are two doors, but they're not like the swinging saloon doors, so you know they actually close and are currently closed. there is a second floor, which sort of steeps upward, kind of in a very simple geometric shape. There's no chimney that you guys can see, but there's like a metal pipe that sticks out and up, acting as some kind of heat valve or release. And inside, or not inside, but outside, on the front porch, there is a sign hanging above the doors, or I guess the little jut out before the doors, so, you know, people can sit on the porch and just hang out. There's a sign that says, General Goods Store. Do you approach, or do you ignore it? Now that
I'll go
John has
knock on
kind
the
of
door.
primed you
Yeah, I
guys
want to
with
go
the-
inside.
I want to knock on the door.
Do we need any general goods? Like
You
we got some
knock
goods.
on the door, and as Helga and Paradigm both race up, Paradigm unfortunately just beats Helga due to the movement speed of being a horse. He trots
Helga,
up
don't worry. Let him open the door in case it explodes.
Oh,
on,
you're right.
on the front of the door. There is a hanging down sign, as though like there's a small little nail or hook there that has a flipped out side that says, "Only one admission only." So only one person can enter. Or that's what it says. If you
I
guys
can't sleep on Paradigm.
I'll go in.
don't want to share this with Helga?
I
mean-
want to go inside.
I wanted her to go. That's why I want to stop Paradigm.
Paradigm can go in. I don't want to die. Paradigm can go in.
Paradigm really wants. Like,
No, I'll let him
you
go.
are there first.
He wants
you
it.
are there
Helga
first.
has
you are there
seceded her
first.
claim. And Paradigm has just... I just feel bad giving it to the guy who just mathematically has more movement, you know? Because this is a
I mean, that's how it
one-person
is.
entry only kind of place.
I didn't even think about it like that, but I'm just gonna waltz in.
Alright, cool.
That's how it is.
You walk into the door, and Helga, as you try to approach, you're running as fast as you... I want it too! Let me come! The door slams closed in front of your face.
I will pick it.
I knock on the door. I'm like, please.
The sign flips over. And it's just like a blank thing. real quick.
Occupied.
Occupy. Yeah, basically. The green, only one person at a time may enter. Just flips to a big red. Sorry, better luck next time. Helga, you fall to your knees, having missed an
Yeah,
opportunity.
I just sit down, like my arms crossed, like leaning against the building.
Paradigm,
Don't
you
wor-
enter.
Don't worry. Next mysterious store in the middle of the woods. Yours.
Yeah.
You enter a actual store. There are nice coat racks holding up these crazy good-looking like jackets that are of all sorts of brightly colored clothing. So you got your bright blues, your royal blue. It just goes down the list of all the color spectrum. There are like 4 of these big coat racks. There are on the sides of the store like heavy plate mail armor that's all ornate and etched and so great looking. Behind and sort of above a counter, on the wall itself, there are weapons that are hung up on display, each one as magnificent as the other one. In a case, as though you've entered a pawn shop, there are sextants, there are compasses, there are maps, there are eating horns, there's a knife as well, which catches your eye. Oh, what a cool looking knife. Whistles, all sorts of stuff in this general goods store. And as you're like looking about at all of these strange items, a voice calls out to you. Ah! You!
Yes. Hello?
Welcome to the general goods store.
Definitely general goods.
Are you a general?
I wish I was.
Well, you've come to the right place.
Have I now?
What kind of general do you wish to become? And now that you're, like, looking at this person, having, like, you know, taking your time, glancing around, hearing this voice, and now you've come to, like, the cashier's desk, the counter, where this strange store owner is, you see an old woman. She's just like this old, weird humanoid figure who's just like hands on desk, tapping her hands, so excited, tapping her fingers on the desk. I mean, it has been quite some time since I've found a general worthy of my store.
Yes, well, what kind of general would I want to become?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm sure of what you mean.
Well, there's all kinds of generals. There are the rallying generals, who all the soldiers trust. Oh, then there are the murdering generals. You never want to be a murdering general with your followers, but sometimes you just need to get a job done and you gotta throw some people's lives away, spending it like currency. There are always the natural-born generals, the charismatic, the leaders that you wish, but you know, once they get into power, sometimes you don't want them to be in power, and then you assassinate them. They are like burning stars in a way, where they burn up like a brilliant comet and then are just as fast smothered away by the endless sky above them. Then there are the intuitive generals, the people who just sort of fell into the rank. Oh, I get my blood pumping every time I think about them. Those ones I love the most.
Well, intuitive seems to
There are
strikes
the
a chord
warrior
with me.
generals too, and just interrupting you and fanboying over all these types. The martial heroes who suddenly just have an army behind them. The slayers of great beasts, of the winged ones that breathe all sorts of dangers and terrorize the towns. Then, of course, there's the ones behind the desk, and she points to the maps. Those who know so much, who are the strategos of any great army. There are all kinds of generals, my good friend? Customer.
You may call me friend if you wish.
No, you're my customer.
Yeah,
No friend discounts, unfortunately.
I just don't have friends.
I understand.
Well,
Every good officer. None of them have friends either. Every life they meet is just trying to figure out how to spend it. And you're already part cavalry, it looks like.
yes.
You know,
quite.
a
It
cavalry
has-
charge is just the exchanging of life to see who will break first. It is truly the most grinding, grueling of generals who ride a back horse, traveling around, leading their men from the front.
So I'm curious. What exactly is it you're trying to sell me in becoming a general?
I sell all kinds of things. What you want, now that I can't determine. All I know is the customer is always right. So please, what kind of general do you wish to become? If any, I'm not here to force you down a path.
Well, one that will help me and my group win every fight. See the paths that lie before us.
Ah, you asked to invoke destiny. That is a very bold thing to ask. And one that will be... She, like, shivers for a moment. You should be careful when consorting with the cosmic forces of this world, my would-be lieutenant. She pats you on your face for a second. Her hand just sort of leaving her body for a brief... It's actually very unsettling.
Ugh.
As her arm literally just pops out of its, like, joints and just touches you across the desk.
You know, this has happened to him multiple times. He doesn't get phased.
That's fair. What is it?
Well,
Do you truly wish for? Do you wish to lead?
I wish to know the secrets of this world.
You've come to the wrong shop, my friend.
I don't.
You're
any
gonna
way
have to
I
look
can
for the
get
secret
to that.
smith. The secret smith is who you want. I am the general good merchant.
Know where I could find the secret smith?
No.
Oh. Well,
But if you had a map, and she points to her glass case, which you can look down at. There is a folded 3-part map. The last person, who was it? A young girl and her weird paladin companion. She was the last person to wield this map to its greatest effect. It would take her wherever she wished to go. It turned out the place she wished to go the most to was hell, unfortunately. Dragged the poor paladin with her, I hear.
Interesting. How much for this map?
She looks at you, and she, like, begs you to, like, lean in closer.
I'll lean in closer.
It's a steal. It's only 50 gold pieces.
Alright then. I'll hand her 50 gold.
Alright, you buy the map. The first thing that you could have asked for. Hell yeah. No such thing as window shopping with Paradigm. Paradigm knows what he wants.
Paradigm doesn't understand money very well.
That's
yeah, but
fair.
now the map will show him where to go to find what he really wants in this shop.
Oof. You hand her a pouch of 50 gold. She counts it all up. It's like, ooh, this one is from... Oh, and, like, appraises it for a moment. And she's like, I don't recognize this currency at all. This is so interesting. And before you even, like, notice her move it, the map is just sort of out in front of you. And it's a big, chunky map. Like, it's folded 3 times over, but as you, like, begin... Do you touch it, I suppose, is, like, my first question.
I unfurl it.
You try to unfurl it all the way to its maximum capacity, but you only get, like, 4 folds out, and you still have, like, this massive chunk left. It's just seeming to expand more and more out, and it shows you where you are in Alcazan, or specifically the Jorgen River Valley. And I could move us there, but I don't want to at this moment, because we're kind of in character. You begin to look at this map, and as, you know, the pact is sealed, as it were. Alright, good. Get out now. You have a war to win, my friend.
Does this map come with... I'm sorry, what was that you just said?
Goodbye. And you
Does it come with... Do you
immediately
have a case
feel
for this?
Yourself being pulled to the door.
I would like a case for this map, please.
It's too big. No case can contain it. And it's like she begins to be sucked out of your vision, along with the store. Coraline, Helga, and Anchois, you guys, like, turned around at some point. Helga had fallen down just randomly. And Paradigm's just, like, standing there looking at a map. The shop in which you had gone to is no longer there. Instead, it is a ruined building.
Puff of smoke.
Paradigm's just looking around, staring at the map in his hand.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
sure you got something so awesome. You went in there, and we had high hopes. Paradigm. We had.
I unfurl the infinite map of this world.
you can only go 4 pages, unfortunately.
At a time, or like...
At a time, in totality. You know where you are, though. You just feel that somewhere you are in this forest. Next to the Godless Ravine.
Oh?
Yeah. You're like, oh, this is where we are. It's, like, super intuitive. Like, you're looking at all the crazy lines, and, like, people are peering over your shoulders, and it's like, okay, how is he? And you're just like, there we are.
This is actually kind of fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know John had this actual detail on his stuff.
Well, no, I'm
We
talking
see
about
this
the
Good
fact that we
fucking God,
have
man.
a GPS now.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
And
you know
this is
exactly
we are.
where you are.
We...
Is there like a token where we are on the
No.
map?
Only Paradigm
Paradigm.
knows where you are.
I have like this satellite signal in my head telling me this is where I am we are on the map.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it does not seem to just be like a thing that shows you the entire world, but within like a 50-mile radius of you, you know like what's around.
That's still really big.
Yeah. You know, like the Hogwarts map from fucking Harry Potter? It's like
Yeah.
that, but a 50-mile radius rather than just a stupid fucking school.
Paradigm,
I can
Gloopy.
see,
Gloopity,
is
yeah.
Goreknin
I
where
can see
we were?
settlements.
What was that, Coraline?
Is Goreknin where we were?
Is what?
Goreknin, is that where we were?
She's looking at your map,
Goreknin?
but you're
Oh,
probably
I
too
couldn't
zoomed
see
in.
it.
Yeah. Probably. That's probably where you were.
I believe we were under that place, yes. And that was the ravine we almost fell into.
Well, it was a ravine between there and here, and I'm
You said
seeing
we're like
so
right
much
here,
detail.
John, right?
Yep.
Yeah, right
a little
there.
bit more north.
So,
Over
but
here.
that general vicinity.
Yeah. It
And
doesn't
I
give you,
just
like, a billion. You know how, like, a modern day GPS gives you, like, 8 million fucking decibels where
Yeah.
you are in the world? It's not to that extreme, but you can
But
definitely
it can-
know where you are within, like, a mile radius with basically 100% accuracy.
I just point at that on the spot on the map exactly where we're pretty much where we are, and I say, we're almost to Alcazan. We're just outside the fields.
Yeah,
Wow.
we are.
You're like,
Where do you think the
Well,
space
in
fish
respect,
is here on this map?
I wasn't conscious for that.
All right.
We'd have to find where our markings were. That's
But
the
you know,
only way that
Coraline,
would
we could
possibly
always
lead
find another space fish.
these fish. Yeah, that's what it was.
Well,
I mean, one space fish was good, but two would be better.
this isn't
Maybe.
the most amazing thing I could have bought in there, I'm sure, but
bank can't use.
I think this helps us immensely, especially for the situation we're in now.
See, what I'm gonna
It
have
does.
to
Yeah.
do now is give, like, Paradigm his token, and then, like, give him a light radius of 50 miles. And then, you know, when you guys move someplace. But you already had access to this region map, so I'll just keep that in mind for future games.
It's kind of sad that Aurelia and Rembrandt's tokens are still there.
Aw, Aurelia's so tiny.
Yeah, 'cause I never fixed it.
I like that they
never
didn't
fixed it.
have 0 health, too.
Yeah, they're dead. Hang on, let's get the stream to zoom in on it. Let me do a little terrible. Oh, Aurelia, I sure love being in hell. What about you? Well, Rembrandt.
Oh.
Me and my new
They're
best
just-
friend Jerome.
They're just watching Castle Power down in hell.
Yeah, basically. It's where it would be, right?
Well, I guess we should start
Yeah.
continue along to
Continue.
Alcazan, especially we can see
We'll
the
get
way
there.
perfectly
We
now.
will get there. We will get there.
Indeed. Paradigm.
While we're walking, Coraline's trying to kind of hover or behind them.
Yeah. You try. He outpaces you.
I'll hold on to like Helga's cloak and just try to stay off the ground.
I'm just pulling you.
Just constantly looking up.
Yeah, you have
I
to
have no
look
problem
up
with this.
at the
I will
sky.
happily let you do that.
Alright, so Coraline's upside down looking at the sky, being pulled on the cloak of Helga. And you all can journey. It takes you 1 day to get out of the forest, since you basically rolled that early. That was like the afternoon check, so you'd already traveled a little bit, like 6 or 7 miles, and then, 24 miles. So you'll get to, like, the fields of Alcazan, which are somewhat familiar. You're almost at that house you
Yeah.
guys were in.
Oh no.
But when you guys
Oh, no.
get there, you will see on the horizon an airship coming towards you all. One that you are familiar with, no less. It is heading straight towards you, on its way.
Oh?
Is it the ship that dropped us off?
Well, no, you crashed that one.
No, the
The
one
one
that
that we
dropped
were
off our
that
flyer.
one that was tugging us.
Yes, that one. It's currently going by DD2 in my notes for Dangerous Dozen, and it's the second one of their vessels, but who gives a fuck about that? DD2 comes closer and closer to you, flying at a cruising speed. They will be on you guys within the hour if my notes are correct. Since they go at 7,500 feet per... No, they go at like 9,000.
Coraline, this would be the
Can I
perfect time
minor
to test
illusion?
your power. Do you
We
think
should make.
My-
you could get up to the airship and
I will try.
They are
We
currently
should make a
1,000
big
feet off the ground.
bonfire.
if
You
you
Make a big
I've
bonfire.
also had a thought. Since you have to look up to fly up, if you just level your sight, maybe you just stay in position and you can fly horizontally rather than just vertically.
If I fall, will you catch me?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Okay, Elga, I trust
Right.
you.
I promise you, I will use Featherfall to save you.
All right.
With my
I-
9 strength, I will catch you.
And you want me to tell them to land to pick us up? Yes.
Well, they'll have to go back to the city more than likely. They can't just do an open field landing with an airship, I don't believe.
Maybe they can drop down a really long ladder.
We have hope.
DD2 continues to move towards you. Coraline, do you wish to go and try to meet them in the air?
I will. I will try to go up.
Yeah. So you go up. What is your movement speed?
30 feet.
Well, you fly 30 feet then, up at a time. You cannot dash with this fly speed. I should have you know. You need to practice more. Eventually, you will be able to. But as it is right now, why the fuck would you be like, well, I want to go like 90 fucking feet really fast real quick, John. You begin to slowly rise. Try not to look down, because every time you look down, you immediately begin to fall at a rate of 500 feet per 6 seconds, which is terrifying. So
I will look up more than. I won't even try to look sideways.
you look up and look up and look up, and you reach. Well, you will beat them to their elevation than when they would get to you. Because they're still miles away. You know, you see it on the distance. They're going at, like, this direction. And you got, well, they're going towards you. And you, like, got to this edge, didn't you? I believe that was the case. So they're, like, flying on a course towards Thorazor. Or to Destry, more likely. And
Okay.
you are rising to meet them. They're still several miles away from you. But they will be upon you within, like, 5 minutes or so. Going at their current rate.
I'm not directly in front of them, right? I would rather not be directly in front of them.
In the path,
Well,
a bird on the windshield.
they were heading directly to you, which means if you just go straight up from your position, they would, of course, intersect you. So how are you going to move?
I will go high enough that I will be slightly over them.
All right. You try to go higher and higher than them. And
And then accidentally look down and then fall
Whoa!
to below them.
yes. If you try to experiment, what Paradigm was saying is true. It is directional based on where you're facing. So if you go even and you try to like do a Superman thing, you will just go that direction. You can will yourself to hover. It's kind of weird because you're just like, I need to stop. I need to stop. I need to stop. And then like your body will like twist out, like the momentum of like your core is where you are flying from. So like your heart specifically is like where all your momentum's building up. So like when you want to stop, like your legs are going to fucking swing out from under you and you're going to do like this weird like whoa motion, and then you'll just be like standing in air, which is very, very weird and uncomfortable. Because like you're not being supported by anything, so you're just feeling like this tugging sensation from the sky itself, and you're just kind of like, so this is what a marionette feels like on like a string. And then,
Okay,
you know,
while I'm hovering, I'm going to use shape water to turn the water in my canteen bright green. What would show up in the day?
Probably something darker.
Orange.
Yeah,
Orange is
like a
good.
dark orange.
Okay.
And then when they get within,
Sun-kissed.
well, they're coming really fast though, right?
They move at a cruise speed of 80 miles an hour.
Oh, holy crap. Okay, as soon as I can make out the shape of the ship pretty good,
John has a pamphlet of all of his airship speeds.
I'm going to dump out my water, my colored water, to try to signal them that there's something weird up ahead.
You signal them, and they continue to move directly towards you.
Okay, I'm going to move to the side so I'm not in front of them anymore.
You begin to move sideways. The airship continues to head in your general area because you're making like 30 feet different increments, and this vessel is like 100 feet long and massive, right? It's more than 100 feet long, actually. It's much bigger. This frigate, this airship frigate, is coming towards you and is beginning to slow down as it sees you. Parachutes and fans are being thrown out on the rear to get the wind to sort of stop. And it is lowering altitude as well. It cannot make a direct landing, but it does have an anchoring system. So it's going to be 500 feet off the ground by the time, it truly stops. But it seems to have spotted you, Coraline.
Okay, I'll try to go meet them once they've come to a relatively slow speed.
Paradigm, Antoine, and Helga, you all see a massive hook outside of the airship begin to slowly crank down and descend. And it's going to strike into the earth. The airship that is already kind of slow is going to stop in a jerking way. Well, it'll really be pulled kind of like in a weird U shape. Because, now it's tethered to the ground. A anchor is within it, so now it's just being like pulled, and it has to like kill its momentum via reverse thrusters, basically, or big fans, depending on what sort of propulsion system. I forget what DD2 is made out of, or what's moving it really. I think it's just like a thruster. It doesn't matter for the purposes of this. They come to a stop within the hour, and Coraline in that time can literally just land on the deck.
I will do that.
You do
It
that.
worked.
Coraline, when you look down to the deck, you fall, of course, and which is terrifying because you were like 100 feet up. But as you hit the deck, at like the last couple seconds, you felt like being pulled back up a little bit, killing your momentum, and bringing you to a very sharp, heart-wrenching stop. But you did not take any fall damage from this.
Built-in featherfall. Thank you.
In Featherfall, yes.
Man, it's good because I lied to you about my spell slot.
I know.
I definitely would have still tried to catch you.
Oh, Coraline, you land on the deck, and DD2 is built kind of like just a regular boat, except it's a bit bigger, and is obviously fucking flying. The structure itself is not anywhere as cool as most modern airships. It's made out of wood and iron, or iron-reinforced wood. And quickly, from the captain's quarters, or where more likely the interior piloting system is currently, installed at, rather than just have an exterior one and just have people in high altitudes just get whipped and lashed by the wind. It's not Schmitty, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Well, actually, it could be Schmitty.
I really hope it's Schmitty.
So, oh
I
shit.
want to hear what Coraline has
what
to
happened?
say.
My roll 20, no!
No!
I hit the home button. Rip. Well, you guys got to look at grapes on the stream. I'm sorry.
Oh. Is that part of
You
Temer's
are-
rod?
Oh my god. Fuck, I just dropped my book. hang on. Schmitty got demoted to become a. He got demoted and was
He deserved
a ground pilot for Destry. No, that was
He's
months
just
ago.
a
So
fucking
that means he was
CDL truck driver.
Okay, so he was promoted to airship douchebag after the events of the Discovery team, which means that he got promoted after his success of capturing a Destrian prisoner, and then he loaned you guys the airship because he wanted to transfer back into the airship station, part of the military. So, he
wants us to get him demoted?
No. Schmidt, I'm just keeping track of
Damn.
what the Schmitty plot line, basically.
Okay.
Because he's on his own character arc at this point.
Yeah, he's important.
Yeah, he's trying to become like a logistical general of the air fleet. But right now he's in Tulsa, so Schmitty is not here. Instead, it's some captain who used to be like a airship patrol, like basically just a police civilian vessel that was used to like keep an eye on like seaborne travel. And then that guy got promoted to like becoming a captain of a full-blown military ship. So he's out there with his crew doing these resource runs from Alcazan to Destry because the people in Destry are fucking starving to death. So he's basically taking the grains and the vegetables and all sorts of grown stuff here in Alcazan and just acting as a one-man cargo like transport ship. In case the other air fleet of Fresnoth attacks. So this guy is like, hello.
Hello, Captain.
Yeah, you're Coraline, right? They said you'd be on the ground. What?
If you would rather, I can meet you down there.
No,
But
it's fine. We came to pick you guys up since you were like on our way.
excellent. My friends are down below. Do you have?
Yeah. We were told. We've already anchored away. We're gonna send a dinghy down there to get them. How can you fly?
It's a long story.
You didn't say you would fly.
It's a very long story. It involves, magical doodads and such.
All right, I believe you. And he just kind of like looks awkwardly, like this is above my pay grade, isn't it? And he quickly fucks off. It's not really like an elevator. It's like the gondola you'd take to get up to the tyrant's court from the bottom of the pillar. But a wooden, very flimsy-looking elevator descends from the cargo hold. Part of the wooden wall, the wooden hull will open up, revealing that it was in fact a door to the hull directly, and this thing will just like, whoop, the rope will just sort of harpoon itself into the ground via a metal, harpoon and hook, and then this wooden platform that has like I don't want to call it like a cage railing or anything like it, because it's not that safe looking. But there is an elevator system in this airship. And no one else is on it. I think they just expect you to ascend on your own.
I'll walk on.
Yeah,
I've been on enough gondolas. I know what this is.
Yeah.
I lash myself onto it.
All right. You grab onto the edge to one of the secure places to it. And
I
as
hold on
you
for
do
dear
so,
life.
There is a button on it, which assumedly will activate the mechanical crank. You guys hit the
I
button.
push it.
Paradigm, you hit it. Antoine hits it again.
We
Make
stay
it-
in
I'll hit
place.
it a third time
Goes
for
back down.
adventure.
It goes back down.
All
Yeah.
three of you hit it,
Please.
and it begins to elevate. Up and up and up, 500 feet. It takes, it moves at 50 feet per round. So, 10 rounds. So a minute later, you guys will be able to ascend, all three of you. It was only made for like 4 or 5 people at most to like get on, so It's kind of scary with
Two
Paradigm.
people and a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is no like safety railing at all to this thing. There are like 4 poles which lead to like the roof and wenching mechanism, which assumedly people would like hook onto with safety belts, but you guys don't have that, so you're just like horseman shaking, holding.
I'm sitting on the ground.
All right,
Paradigm is like holding onto it, shaking, trying not to let go.
Yeah.
Grip like rigor mortis.
And into the hole you will find yourselves. A small gangplank can be pushed out so that you guys can actually board the vessel, because it's not like a bottom thing. You're going up to the side of the vessel, so you have to like step out onto a gangplank, and then a wary crew will be looking at you guys as you board their ship.
Oh, where are we
Isn't
heading
it
off
great?
to? Toast?
Thanks for picking us up.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm still shaking.
Come on in. They're just as equally nervous as you, Paradigm, as though they've seen a ghost. And you've all made board. Coraline can be found on the top deck. You guys have ridden on airships before, so none of this is strange as you guys head into the piloting area where all the officers and the captain is currently holding his ship to account.
Please, 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 do not let Coraline near the steering wheel. Just my one.
We were told by a
Thank you.
ghost.
Thank you.
Coraline, that was amazing.
I give her a high five.
You high five. And
I just wish she could have done the same for you. We could fly together.
Yeah, did you ask for flight?
I did.
Oh, I don't think I would have asked for that.
Excuse me. The captain calls out while you guys are getting to notice Coraline's power more and more. So, we're going to Destry, but we're told from there they're going to send you on a different airship back to Tolst. Because we're currently on, runs. Make sure the shipping lane stays open.
Yeah, fair enough.
So,
good.
buckle in. We'll be there at the end of the day. We'll see
Night.
you in the hall, I guess. I mean...
You have food up here?
Can I hang out on the deck? I need
Yeah,
to get my air
sure.
legs.
Totally.
Do you mind if I observe the pilots?
Yes.
A little flitter that Mr.
We were
Smitty gave us.
told to keep you
Maintenance
away
was
from
bad.
all consoles. You are not allowed to touch anything, and we're actually going to kick you out of this room. Paradigm and Helga and Anchois, this guy says, pointing to the named people. They can stay, I guess, but you're not allowed in here, Miss Coraline. And it seems like you can fly now?
Apparently. And I kind of hover.
His
I
eyes
lean over
go-
to Coraline and I say, hey, if you want, I can stay in here and take notes for you.
Maybe you could learn how to fly a ship.
Yeah, I can drive so well. Why couldn't I fly a ship?
If it wasn't for that hood, you would have done great.
Paradigm walks out and goes to stand on the deck and just watch us flying.
You fly into the sky. You guys got here at the end of the day, so it is evening. The stars are already coming out. The moon is already full and beautiful. The sun is setting to the west. And the next time we see you guys, we will be in Tolst a day or so later with some questions, with experience, because many changes have occurred. You also, guys, got a lot of magical items today.
Finally.
Which is very nice because you guys have been kind of magic starved for a little while.
A little while? The entire time.
cry about
The
it.
first time we
You
actually...
fucking wizard.
Paradigm
bitch.
has.
Hopefully, you guys will have accumulated enough experience to hit level 5, because it looks like the raiding team is going to hit it. The discovery team has, after their war crimes have occurred. They made quite a few discoveries, which boosted them up. They haven't even completed their real, like, any quests yet. They just got a lot of experience from knowing more about the world. And although you guys didn't do too much combat, you did fight one thing and get a better understanding of... Well, you have a name, which is now going to be of interest.
Leaky Dan.
Everybody, you all should have access now to handouts, which you may be able to edit and freely write in. I have named them Monday, Thursday, Saturday after action reports. All players can look at them, but only the teams assigned to those days can interact and edit them. So, if you guys want to write down stuff you think is important, by all means do so. From any of your sessions, anything, or even leave notes to potential readers and be like, haha, get fucked, Monday team sucks, or something. I'm leaving this all up to what you guys want to write into it, and communicate with other team members who may not have the time to watch 3.5-hour VODs. So hopefully that will help communication. So, next time we'll see you on Saturday. Anything we want to shout out? Any people we want to talk about?
We didn't die!
You did not die.
I am so happy you rolled all the things you rolled.
Yeah.
I'm sure you are.
They were good rolls, man.
I really want to go to that secret smith or whatever the fuck you called it.
Well, I'll take note of it, because John may forget, and then you'll bring it up like 3 months later, like, John, who the fuck is the secret smith? And I'll be like, what?
Time to find him on my map.
It's true.
Paradigm's the new navigator.
Antoine, where can we find you? Also known as Stemmer.
I suppose I'll be on Greg Hansen's stream at the 17th, I believe. Yes.
Wait, you're the
Sometime at
17th. I'm the 18th. What the fuck?
Hey, man.
Why are you
he's going
taking my
crazy.
weekday slot? What?
Get fucked,
Well,
John.
you know, we couldn't finish last, I think a few days ago.
Is he doing like an
our last
extra
thing is-
game? Because he hasn't contacted us about it. So if you guys are just now queued for the 17th, what does that mean for the 18th?
Get
I'm
fucked.
pretty sure that,
Did he like make a posting about this?
no, he didn't. Like, that's for sure. We did it kind of like a half-assed type of thing before we left our last game. I might even got the day wrong. I think it's the 17th. I'm pretty sure. It was the Thursday of that week.
Well,
So
guys,
that's the
please check
17th.
out Greg Hansen at twitch.tv/Greg Hansen. He's great. I play as a moon druid warlock named Creature.
Creature.
And I'm planning to do some very evil shit on Friday.
Huh.
And I
What
mean
is
some,
evil?
Like, I mean, like, objectively evil bullshit.
Eats
Millman!
hearts.
Guys, Millman in the chat, been hanging out. Thanks so much, Millman. Onesies for life, baby. Paradigm,
Mailman,
also known as Alden.
Mailman.
Where can we find your checkpoint that you stand at watch so that we can scan our badges?
Norfolk, Virginia. Just on one of the random naval bases there.
Oh, perfect.
They'll just let Canadians in, huh? We could just walk
Yeah.
in.
Cool.
Awesome.
JC
You need a
Corley?
common access card.
Don't even have a passport.
Where can we find your blog for your electronic engineering training?
Oh, I handed that in. That's done.
Oh, fuck.
The blog's dead now.
Oof. Helga, also known as Julia, you're no longer tracking eels. What's your next project you're up to? Why are you laughing at that?
She's shaking.
She's shaking.
What?
What are you... What's your next project you're doing for biology?
Oh, I'm sorry. Everybody froze for a second.
Oh, okay.
Oh. I'm I'm doing summer camps for kids
Oh, I'm so sorry.
with the conservation group, so it'll be fun.
Are you gonna teach? What are you gonna teach them? What's like the big thing you want them to like get out of your education?
Yeah, Giles.
I think we're just trying to be like, hey, you should respect the Earth.
Try to convince one of them that the
Or-
Earth is flat, just
I
as an
should.
experiment.
Yeah.
I desperately want to meet a flat earther so badly.
You know,
They're
come down to
everywhere.
America. I can get you
Yeah.
like 4 in a couple minutes. I promise.
Yeah. All you have to do
That
is
can't
go
be
walk
right.
into a mall, and you
Yeah.
can find 5.
Find a fucking Trump
can't be
rally or
right.
something. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
That
you'd
All
be
right,
surprised.
guys. I love you all. Take care. Don't die. Next Saturday, there will be consequences.
Sorry?
Yeah, you are and will be. All right, see you
We
guys
didn't do anything.
next week. Woo!